Chapter 5:15. Needless to say, Mo Xiangyin had always felt that Xiaochen was very powerful. As for Grandma Nanshan, she was already numb to it. If Xiaochen could heal her injuries, what else couldn't he do? Song Huawu was a little surprised. She hadn't expected Xiaochen, a descendant of the Xiao family, to learn all these things. Not only did he know how to treat illnesses, disguise himself, and break arrays. Xiaochen walked into the passageway, and the others followed behind him. The passageway was the same as before, but everyone was a little excited. This was where Chen Xinyang's map ended. There might be something good up ahead. Finally, everyone arrived at a large hall. Just like before, there were several boxes and shelves stacked around the hall. Everyone walked over and opened the doors of the boxes and shelves. They all let out excited cheers. Although Xiaochen didn't go over, he guessed that there must be something here. Chen Xinyang's map should have been drawn by someone in recent years. Perhaps Chen Xinyang herself had already been here once with others. So until now, no one should have touched the rest of the map. Young hero Xiao, there's something good here. Come and take a look. Mo Xiangyin said loudly. Although there was something good, everyone consciously didn't touch it. They waited for Xiaochen to come over and distribute it. Xiaochen walked over and looked at the contents of the boxes. The first box contained a few weapons, the second was gold and silver, and among them, there was something that made Xiaochen excited. It was the spiritual jade. As for the third box, it was completely empty. At the bottom of the box, there was only something that looked like ash. Xiaochen took a closer look and understood. The box probably contained some spiritual herbs or something similar. However, it was way too old. Furthermore, they didn't pay much attention to preservation methods. If they were left in the box, they would have decomposed and evaporated after a long time. There should be some medicinal herbs in this box. They have all decomposed. Everyone, take a look and distribute the rest. Xiaochen said. The spiritual jade should be given to Grandma Nanshan. Does anyone have any objections? Everyone shook their heads. Apart from being valuable, this thing wasn't very useful to them. Granny Nanshan didn't refuse. She asked Ling to find all the spirit jades in the treasure chest and put them away. As for the chest of gold and silver, Xiaochen looked at it and said, Old Master Cheng, your main purpose for coming here is actually for these things, right? Yes. Cheng Tianxiu blushed a little and said, Qiao En's told me that I can make a fortune here. Alright, these jewels are yours. Xiaochen said, as for Mo Xiangyin, I saw that you used a sword. Your family should be martial artists or martial masters who are proficient in using weapons, right? Yes, young hero Xiao, you've noticed. Mo Xiangyin nodded. Then, you can choose the weapons here. Song Hua Wu will bring the rest back to report. Xiaochen said. Thank you, young hero Xiao. Mo Xiangyin was overjoyed. His purpose for coming here was to get a suitable weapon for his son and wife. He didn't expect to achieve his goal so easily. Everyone was satisfied with their items. However, Song Hua Wu suddenly looked at Xiaochen and asked, You've divided everything. What do you want? That's right. Everyone looked at Xiaochen and felt a little embarrassed. They had each gotten what they wanted, but Xiaochen had nothing. This wasn't the case. They were greedy, but without Xiaochen, they would have been dead long ago and wouldn't have been able to enter this place. If they all got something good, and Xiaochen got nothing, they would feel guilty. Isn't there a cabinet here? Let me take a look at the things in the cabinet first. Xiaochen said with a smile, I don't really need these. Xiaochen wasn't short of money, and Grandma Nanshan was the one who got the spiritual jades for him. As for the weapons, Xiaochen couldn't use them. He was a cultivator. Even if he wanted to use weapons, he would need to refine them himself. Ordinary weapons weren't of much use to him. Alright, "Young hero Xiao, open it and take a look," Grandma Nanshan said. Xiaochen opened the cabinet door and saw a few books and boxes inside. Xiaochen first picked up the books inside and flipped through them. 5 Poison Secrets? Xiaochen saw a booklet called 5 Poison Secrets. Was this the book that Xiaoqingyi wanted? Xiaochen was a little surprised. He didn't expect there to be such a book here. After thinking about it, he didn't directly hand it over to Song Huawu. It was true that Xiaoqingyi had sent him a message, but don't forget that Yang Tan was currently in charge of Songning City. Only Song Huawu and Xia Shibin had come to this ancient tomb. He was Xiao Chang. However, after thinking about it, if he didn't hand it over, Xiaoqingyi would definitely be suspicious if he said that he didn't see the message because he wasn't familiar with this phone. How could Yang Tan not see the message? When the Supernatural Investigation Bureau issued missions, many of them were conveyed through this mobile phone short message. Moreover, Xiaoqingyi had specially reminded Song Huawu that he had sent him a message so that Song Huawu could ask him. Song Huawu might have known that he would come, so she told him about it. However, it wasn't that easy for Xiaochen to secretly obtain the 5 poison secrets. He decided to go back and make a copy first before giving it to Xiaoqingyi. At least he could exchange it for some cultivation resources, right? If he couldn't use it, it would be good to give it to Song Huawu. Looking at her pitiful and bitter face, it was obvious that she couldn't get many cultivation resources in the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. The other 2 books surprised Xiaochen. One of them was called 10,000 Poison Scripture, and the other was called Detoxification Scripture. Xiaochen roughly flipped through them. One of them was about poisoning, and the other was about detoxification. They were 2 rare good books. Thinking of the 5 poison secrets, could the original owner of this ancient ruin be a master who was good at using poison? Xiaochen put the 3 books directly into his arms and said, "I want these 3 books." When Xiaochen flipped through them, the others didn't see them clearly either. They only saw something about poison written on the cover. It was probably a martial arts mental cultivation method or something like that. However, everyone had their own mental cultivation methods and martial arts techniques, so they didn't need anything else. They didn't ask much if Xiaochen wanted them, and they were too embarrassed to ask. They all nodded to indicate that Xiaochen didn't mind. Xiaochen looked at the other things on the shelf. Apart from the 3 books, there were 4 small boxes. Xiaochen opened one of them, and a fragrance immediately filled the air. There was a pill inside, but he didn't know what it was. Therefore, Xiaochen handed it to Granny Nanshan and said, "Granny Nanshan, take a look and see what this is." Granny Nanshan took it and looked at it. However, she shook her head and said, "This pill is extremely fragrant and bright, but I don't know what it's used for. I saw that the 3 books you took earlier were all related to poison. This pill might be poisonous, or it could be used to cultivate those poison manuals. Ordinary people wouldn't dare to use it so easily. If it's poisonous, that would be terrible." Mo Xiangyin also came over to take a look, but he also hadn't seen it before. He shook his head and said, "I haven't seen it either, but we warriors can't take it easily if we don't recognize it. There might not be any reaction at the time, so it might be a slow-acting poison. Those are supplementary pills for cultivating the 5 poison secrets. You should keep them." The Elder Heaven Ancestor's words rang in Xiaochen's ears. Xiaochen was stunned. He didn't expect the Elder Heaven Ancestor to recognize this thing. However, since the Elder Heaven Ancestor recognized it, Xiaochen said calmly, "In that case, I will take it back to study it. I'll take these things." As Xiaochen spoke, he put away the 4 small boxes. Naturally, no one had any objections. In fact, they did not even have any intention of coveting them. Which martial artist would exchange their martial arts mental cultivation technique for no reason? It was the same for martial techniques. If one wanted to study a martial technique thoroughly, it would take years or even decades. It was fine for Xiao Chen to collect those things or give them to cultivators who had just started cultivating. However, experts like them would not be able to use them. Granny Nanshan was the same. In her Sex Sutra depository, there were countless martial techniques and cultivation techniques. However, there was a limit to one's manpower. It was impossible to cultivate all of them, so she hadn't taken a look. I didn't expect there to be only these things. Cheng Tianqiu was a little disappointed. He had thought that there would be something priceless. Although these gold and silver treasures were valuable, it would be good if they could be sold for tens of millions. If they were antiques, they could be sold for hundreds of millions. However, it was still a far cry from what he had imagined. As for the other things, they had all been divided up. He had no way to ask for them. He only felt a little regretful. It was the same for the others. Even though they had gotten what they wanted, they still felt that it was really. However, it seemed that this was the last hall. There were no other stone doors. Everyone could only go back the way they came. It was impossible to go any further. Fortunately, the last hall was not broken. Otherwise, everyone would have nothing left and could only return empty-handed. Elder Heaven Ancestor, should we go back the way we came? Xiao Chen asked. No, since Chen Xinyang dared to put you all to death, she definitely wouldn't go back the way she came. Her strength is limited. Breaking the formation of these stone doors was already her limit. If she were to go back the way she came, especially the formation at the entrance, she wouldn't be able to do it. Elder Heaven Ancestor said with some doubt, there must be another way out. In other words, this shouldn't be the end of the ruins. Then, but there's no way out? Xiao Chen asked curiously. If I'm not wrong, there should be a stone door in the last hall. It's just that this is a concealment array that hides the entrance of the stone door. We can't see it from a normal angle. Elder Sky said. Chapter 5:16. So, you can't feel it? Xiao Chen asked. If I was here, I should be able to feel it. Elder Sky said, but now, of course, I can't feel it. Or, should be able to take over your body. But this is an extremely wasteful method of primordial spirit, soul, and divine sense. If I were to release my divine sense outside, would fall asleep again very soon. Alright. Xiao Chen said. Forget it, if Elder Heaven Ancestor fell asleep here, he would be at a loss. Is there any other way? It's not that there isn't. You let everyone hold a formation flag, and then in this hall, each person will be divided into an area, and then according to the method I said, throw the formation flag in that area. If the formation flag falls, then pick it up and throw it in another direction. When the formation flag disappears, that place is the location of the hidden formation. Elder Heaven Ancestor said. That works? Then I will try it. Xiao Chen listened and quickly said, you tell me the throwing method. Elder Heaven Ancestor and Xiao Chen explained the method. Xiao Chen said to everyone, if my guess is correct, this place should not be the end, this ancient ruins should still be able to go forward. Or we can directly go out, or go to another hall. Really? Ling looked at Xiao Chen with some surprise. This Xiao Chen is too amazing, right? Why does it seem like there is nothing he doesn't know? Others also looked at him in surprise. Xiao Chen's skin was thick, otherwise, if it was a thin-skinned person, they would have already been embarrassed to take Elder Heaven Ancestor's discovery as their own. That's right. Now, I'm going to tell you how to find the concealment formation. I'm going to give each of you a small flag. Then, follow my instructions. Each of you occupy an area in the hall and start throwing the small flags. If the small flags disappear for no reason, inform me immediately. Xiao Chen said to everyone. Okay, no problem. Everyone agreed after listening to him. A concealment array formation was easier said than done. It was possible to discover it in one spot, but in other locations, no matter how many array flags you threw, it would be impossible to discover its existence. Everyone began to search for the concealment array according to Xiao Chen's instructions. This was a job that required patience, but the thing that martial artists lacked the least was patience. Everyone began to search back and forth in their respective areas. 4 to 5 hours later, Song Hua Wu finally screamed. Everyone looked over and saw Song Hua Wu pointing to an empty space in front of her. She said happily, "Here, here, right here." Xiao Chen quickly ran over and looked in the direction that Song Hua Wu was pointing. There was nothing special there, but Song Hua Wu's array flag had disappeared. Xiao Chen squatted down and said, "Is it here?" "Yes, it's here." Song Hua Wu nodded. "I did as you said. I threw the array flag here and disappeared." "Okay." Xiao Chen reached out his hand and touched the ground. Then, he threw the array flags in his hand out one by one. The speed was very fast. Because he was a cultivator, his 6 senses were sharp, and he could control the direction and strength very well. Soon, a round thing that looked like a teleportation point appeared on the ground that emitted blue light. This made the people present couldn't help but be amazed. It was truly too miraculous. Xiao Chen seemed to have casually thrown out a few formation flags, and a teleportation point appeared on the ground. This is. Although everyone had already guessed that it might be something similar to a teleportation point, they still asked. After all, no one had seen this thing before. Even if they had seen it, it was on TV. This is a teleportation array. It has been activated. It was originally hidden. Xiao Chen said, "We may be teleported to other places when we enter the teleportation array, but I don't know exactly where we will be teleported to. It doesn't matter. I'll give it a try." Clay Den immediately said eagerly. Everyone else had gotten something, but he didn't have anything that suited him. He casually took one of the remaining weapons that Mo Xiangyin had picked, and the rest went to Song Hua Wu. However, he still wanted to see if there were any other good things here. After all, there were too few things in the ruins. Most of them had probably been taken away by the people who had been here before. They had only made a soup base. "Where are the others?" Xiao Chen asked. "Naturally, we'll go take a look." Mo Xiangyin knew that if he didn't follow Xiao Chen, he wouldn't even be able to get out. Therefore, even if it was a dragon's pool or a tiger's den, he still had to make a trip. Going back by himself would be equivalent to being trapped here until he died. Granny Nanshan looked at Xiao Chen strangely and asked, "You're actually so proficient in array formations?" "It's alright." Xiao Chen smiled. "Granny Nanshan, would you like to come and take a look?" "Alright." Granny Nanshan nodded as she looked at Xiao Chen. No one knew what she was thinking. Song Hua Wu and Xia Shibi naturally followed Xiao Chen. Only Cheng Tianxia was a little hesitant, but he still made a decision. "Let's go." Xiao Chen was the first to enter the teleportation array. The Elder Heaven Ancestor had said that this teleportation array was a two-way teleportation array. In other words, even if they failed, they could still return. It wasn't a big deal. Upon seeing Xiao Chen enter, the others also followed. Song Hua Wu was second, Xia Shibin was third, and the rest followed. Xiao Chen was the first to step out of the teleportation array. When he saw the scene before him, he couldn't help but be dumbfounded. The land beneath his feet was very serene. Birds were chirping and flowers were fragrant. Not far away, a large field that looked like a farm came into view. However, upon closer inspection, this wasn't a farm field, but a herb garden. It was similar to Yi Xiaoya's flower garden. As the others walked out one after another, they were also stunned by the scene before them. Where is this? Why was there such a beautiful scene of birds chirping and flowers blooming? It's already early winter. Why is it so warm here? Song Hua Wu asked curiously. Indeed, when they heard Song Hua Wu's words, the others finally reacted. This place was as warm as spring and filled with the warmth of nature. Are all the treasures in front of us? Clayden was a little excited. These were the things he wanted the most. Previously, the medicinal herbs that Xiao Chen had given him had allowed him to reach the half-step martial master realm. However, he still hadn't broken through to become a martial master. If he had enough spiritual herbs, he would be able to make a breakthrough in one go. When the crowd arrived in front of the herb garden, Clayden rushed over impatiently. This is the golden silver lotus, this is the Ma-ku vine, this is the 1,000 jade Ganoderma fruit, and this is. The others also crowded around, their eyes filled with envy and greed. These were all medicinal herbs that were very useful to martialists, so everyone was very happy about them. However, even Clayden didn't stretch out his hand to pick them. Instead, he turned to Xiao Chen and asked hesitantly, "Young hero Xiao, how should we split the herbs in this herb garden? I'll pick a few that I need first. You can split the rest among yourselves." Xiao Chen said without hesitation. He wasn't greedy. There were many medicinal herbs here, so he couldn't just take them all by himself. Furthermore, he didn't need them all anyway. "All right, I agree." Clayden agreed without hesitation. "I have no objections either." Song Huawu and Xia Shibin chimed in. The others agreed as well. Xiao Chen didn't stand on ceremony. He entered the herb garden and started picking. He didn't just pick everything, but he would take whatever the elder heaven ancestor asked him to. Take these stalks of exquisite heart-devouring grass, take these 2,000 crossing golden core fruits, and this, that. The elder heaven ancestor instructed, and Xiao Chen took the herbs. However, what surprised everyone was that Xiao Chen only picked herbs that they didn't recognize, or rather, they didn't know what they were for. Even Granny Nanshan couldn't understand Xiao Chen's intentions. Many of the medicinal herbs he took weren't practical, so they didn't know what to do with them. As for the other medicinal ingredients, Xiao Chen picked a few that were completely matured and had already lost their medicinal effects. If others saw them, they wouldn't think that Xiao Chen was greedy, because the only use for these overripe medicinal ingredients was to use them as seeds. Not everyone could cultivate medicinal herbs. Most people didn't have the ability, not even Granny Nanshan. Therefore, no one fought with Xiao Chen over them. Yi Xiaoye could cultivate medicinal herbs because of her talent. If everyone could cultivate medicinal herbs, there wouldn't be a shortage of medicinal herbs. Xiao Chen's method of using vital energy to cultivate medicinal herbs was too unique and impossible to replicate. "Alright, this is all I want. You can split the rest among yourselves." Xiao Chen walked out and said, "Clayden didn't get anything he wanted before. Let him take more. This isn't very appropriate. Young hero Xiao, why don't you take more?" Clayden was a little embarrassed. "I don't need that much. You guys go ahead." Xiao Chen waved his hand. Even Granny Nanshan was green with envy when she saw so many spiritual herbs. Even she didn't expect Xiao Chen to be so generous. Previously, she was still thinking that even if Xiao Chen took all of these things, she would still support him. Xiao Chen was her savior. Moreover, if she could rope Xiao Chen in, he might be of great use when the time came. However, she didn't expect Xiao Chen to be so generous and leave so many good things for everyone. Everyone was very touched. They felt that Xiao Chen was much better than Chen Xinyang. Chen Xinyang had schemed to get rid of them and monopolize all the good things, while Xiao Chen clearly had the opportunity to monopolize them, but he didn't do so. However, since Xiao Chen was so determined, everyone entered the medicinal herb garden and began to harvest the medicinal herbs. However, perhaps because of Xiao Chen, everyone was very modest. No one dared to go back on their promise. Everyone was afraid that Xiao Chen wouldn't take them away. One had to know that Xiao Chen was proficient in spell formations. If Chen Xinyang could easily frame them, then Xiao Chen could probably do the same. Chapter 5:17. Very soon, the herb garden had been completely harvested. However, everyone was very well behaved and didn't fight over them. Furthermore, there were some medicinal herbs that were too ripe that were left behind. They were left there instead of harvesting them. Xiaofan took a look and hesitated for a moment. In the end, he still went forward and plucked the remaining overripe medicinal herbs. He did not need to cultivate the medicinal herbs here. He could bring them back. As long as he had essence, it would be easy to cultivate them. Are you going to harvest these seeds and bring them back? Granny Nanshan looked at Xiaofan and asked curiously, if they stay here and grow, can't they be harvested again in the future? Let's not talk about whether I will have the chance to come again next time. Even if I do, others might be one step ahead of me. It's safer to bring them back. Besides, I know someone who can cultivate spiritual herbs. Xiaofan didn't mention himself. Instead, he mentioned someone else so that he wouldn't appear too different. I see. I was overthinking. Granny Nanshan nodded and said, then, should we go back the way we came, or, according to my observations, if I'm not wrong, this place is actually an array formation. We are inside this array formation. This is the back mountain of the Immortal Resort. However, it is enveloped by a large array formation that can gather the spiritual energy of heaven and earth to nurture these spiritual herbs, Xiaofan said. This is how the warm climate here is formed. That can't be right, right? Clayden said, before this, I ran all over the back of the mountain, but I didn't find this herb garden. Moreover, this herb garden is open air. We can see the sunlight from here, which proves that this place is connected to the outside world. How could the satellite map not be able to find this place? He. This is the beauty of an array formation. Xiaofan said. The array formation hides the entire herb garden. Although this array formation has the effect of gathering the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, it is not only a spiritual energy gathering array formation but also a large concealment array formation. Therefore, it can't be seen from the outside. Is it that amazing? Clayden was surprised. Let me look for an exit first. Xiaofan said with a smile. When it came to finding an exit, no one else could help. Xiaofan could only rely on himself. This herb garden wasn't big. While Xiaofan was looking for the exit, everyone wandered around the vicinity. However, they were surprised to find that this herb garden seemed to be connected to the surrounding forest, but in fact, they couldn't get out when they reached the edge. It was as if there was an invisible barrier that was blocking them. When they walked here, they were blocked, just like the array in front of the stone door. It's really miraculous. These ancient powerhouses were actually able to set up such an awesome array. Xiaofan clicked his tongue in wonder. This formation can actually be broken by brute force. It's just that it will take a lot of effort. Xiaofan said, if we find the array door, we can leave smoothly. The designer must have designed it this way. Everyone nodded and pinned their hopes on Xiaofan. The array door of this array wasn't easy to find. Even with the help of the Elder Heaven Ancestor, Xiaofan still wasted a lot of energy. Finally, he stopped at the edge of the array and began to throw array flags around. Slowly, a blue circle similar to the one in the hall appeared in front of Xiaofan. Everyone was a little excited. They didn't expect Xiaofan to actually find the array door. He was much more reliable than Chen Xinyang. Alright, let's go out. After Xiaofan said that, he entered the teleportation point. The people behind him didn't stop and followed him. In the next moment, Xiaofan and the others stood on the mountain that was similar to the one before. However, a chill hit them and the temperature had returned to normal. It wasn't as warm as before. We're out. The place we were at just now seems to be similar to this place. However, there isn't a herb garden here. Ling looked around and said with some surprise, isn't this supposed to be a herb garden? But, there isn't. When everyone heard Ling Er's words, they also looked over. Indeed, the environment here was extremely similar to before. The terrain was completely the same. However, the place where the herb garden should have been had turned into a grassland. The temperature was also not as warm as before. That's it. Before, we were inside the array. Now, we're outside the array. Those things are hidden by the array, so we can't see or touch them. Xiaofan said, actually, you can just imagine that we were in a fourth-dimensional parallel space. If we didn't find the array door, people outside would never be able to enter. Is the array door under our feet? Ling Er asked. Yes, but it's useless if we can't find it and open it. Xiaofan said, even if you stand here, you can't enter. It's really magical. Ling couldn't help but sigh. Master, why have all these people who were proficient in array formations been lost? Many ancient magical powers have been lost with the passage of time. This is inevitable. We humans have also created modern technology, which was something that ancient times didn't have. It wasn't like now, where technological information was shared. In the past, only masters and disciples knew about it. If a master didn't accept a disciple before he died, or if the disciple's aptitude wasn't good, then the knowledge would be lost. Granny Nanshan said. Alright, let's part ways here. Xiaofan said. Although there aren't too many good treasures in these ruins, everyone's harvest is still decent. If there's such an opportunity in the future, we can still cooperate. I'm all ears, young hero Xiao. Mo Xiangyin said with cupped fists. This old man is following young hero Xiao to gain experience. Cheng Tianxiu chuckled and said, young hero Xiao, I wonder if you can leave me a way to contact you. If you have time, I'll invite you to the Cheng family for a drink. Give me your contact number. I'll look for you when I'm free. Xiaofan thought about it and said. With his identity as Xiao Chang, he hadn't bought a new SIM card, so he couldn't give it to Cheng Tianxiu for the time being. Alright. Cheng Tianxiu took out a business card from his pocket and handed it to Xiaofan. Shen Hongjian glanced at Cheng Tianxiu and knew that it wasn't a good thing when he saw the latter's flirtatious look. He had asked Xiaofan if he was married before, so he was probably tempted. He couldn't help but curse in his heart. Xiaofan's engagement was broken off by the Cheng family, and he still wanted to get back. Did you guys always take all the good things? Didn't you think it was possible? However, when he thought about it, Xiaofan seemed to have been living in Cheng Menjiang's villa after he and Shen Jingxian got together. It seemed possible. He was a little worried that Xiaofan wouldn't abandon Shen Jingxian because of the Cheng family's girl. Young hero Xiao is very busy. Old Cheng, don't bother him. He doesn't have time to look for you for a drink. Shen Hongjian said. What does it have to do with you? Cheng Tianxiu glared. Don't think that I'm afraid of you just because you're from the Shen family of Zhenwu. In my eyes, you're nothing. Our strength is about the same. Our Cheng family is not to be trifled with. That's not what I meant. I mean, young hero Xiao is busy. Shen Hongjian said. Alright, Clay Den. If I have time, why not visit the Cheng family? In reality, Xiaofan really wanted to visit the Cheng family. From the way he saw it, Cheng Tianxiu probably had nothing to do with the matter of him and his father. He was actually tricked by Qiaoens to come here to make a fortune. The Cheng family's background was probably not deep. Otherwise, they wouldn't be interested in these treasures. If there really was a powerful force supporting the Cheng family, would Cheng Tianxiu lack these things? But could it be that Cheng Mengxiang acted on his own? But he didn't have that much power. It was probably Cheng Zhongfan. Shen Hongjian saw that Xiaofan had said so and didn't say anything else. He thought to himself, sure enough, Xiaofan likes Cheng Menjiang. Everyone parted ways here. Grandma Nanshan didn't say much and left with Ling Er. They had already agreed to send the spiritual jades to Little Hong's pharmacy, so there was no need to give them to Xiao Chen in person. Cheng Tianxiu left with Xiao En's on his back. Mo Xiangyin's family also left. Clay Den saw that the two people from the Supernatural Investigation Bureau hadn't left yet. He knew that they definitely knew about Xiao Chen's identity. After all, Song Huawu had helped Xiao Chen back then. Xiao Chen, are you okay? I heard that Yang Tan didn't die. Why hasn't your arrest warrant been lifted? Clay Den asked. It's hard to say. We'll have to wait and see. Xiao Chen didn't say much. Old Master Shen, did Jingxian contact you? She did. She said that she's doing well in the sect. The elders in Hongzhu's sect value her very much. It's just that she's focused on cultivation and doesn't have much time to contact her family. Clay Den said. She hasn't persisted in cultivating since she was young. Now, she has fallen behind too much. She has to work hard to make the best use of her time. It's good that she's fine. Tell her that I'm fine too. Don't worry about me. Xiao Chen said. When I have time, I'll visit her. Okay. Clay Den nodded and said, oh right, that old thing, Cheng Tianxiu. Why did you still care about him when he broke off the engagement with you? Menjing has always been good to me. I'll do it for Menjing's sake. Xiao Chen knew what Clay Den was thinking, so he said, you don't have to worry about these things. Jingxian didn't say anything either. Okay, then I won't talk about it. Clay Den nodded. I'll take my leave then. I'll go back to the Shen family first. After saying goodbye to Clay Den, Xiao Chen, Song Huawu, and Xia Shibin also left together. When they returned to Song Huawu's house, Xiao Chen also returned to his original appearance. Song Huawu liked to be clean, so she went to take a shower first. Xiao Chen, are you going to take a shower or not? Song Huawu walked out of the bathroom with a towel wrapped around her. Her body was still steaming. Her originally capable appearance looked a little gentle and beautiful. Although she had short hair, there was another kind of beauty to her. Xiao Chen looked at Song Huawu. His heart was slightly moved, but he quickly suppressed his naughty thoughts. He didn't have dirty thoughts to do anything to Song Huawu. Song Huawu had been helping him, and taking him in was already good enough. Chapter 518. Why are you looking at me? Song Huawu noticed that Xiao Chen was staring at her. She was slightly stunned and immediately said, do you really think of yourself as Yang Tan? Let me tell you, don't think too much. Oh. I'm going to take a shower. Xiao Chen nodded and got up to go to the bathroom. As the shower hit his body, Xiao Chen's previous thoughts dissipated a lot. He began to think about his future. With his current strength, although martial artists were basically no match for him, and he could even easily defeat low-level martial artists, facing a behemoth like the Supernatural Investigation Bureau, Xiao Chen still couldn't resist at all. Xia Jili, this bastard, still didn't cancel the wanted order. Now that he was Yang Tan, it was even more impossible for him to remind them about this matter. That would expose him. It was really a bit depressing. Fortunately, he had the identity of Yang Tan first, and the identity of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau was still good. By the time Xiao Chen came out of the shower, Song Huawu had already returned to her room to rest. The exploration of the ancient ruins was quite tiring. Xiao Chen didn't wake her up and went straight to his room. He took out his harvest from the ancient ruins and began to study it. D.D. Just as Xiao Chen was about to study the 5 Poison Secrets book, his cell phone's text message notification sounded. He picked it up and saw that it was sent by Yi Xiaoya. Did you go to the ancient ruins? Yi Xiaoya asked. She rarely showed her face in public recently. The Extreme Ice sect had put a bounty on Xiao Chen's head, and she was afraid that she would be caught if she went out. Therefore, Yi Xiaoya could only contact Xiao Chen through this method. I went, but there wasn't anything too good inside, said Xiao Chen. I got you some elixir seeds. I'll give them to you when I have time. You don't have to give them to me. If I need them, help me cultivate them. If you give them to me now, I can't cultivate them. It's already winter, said Yi Xiaoya. All right. It's not good for me to show up for a while. If there's anything, contact me through the client, said Xiao Chen. Okay, it's good that you're fine, said Yi Xiaoya. The warrior guild's client was relatively safe. After all, the only one who had a grudge against him was Qiaoen's. His father couldn't cover the sky with one hand in the warrior guild. It was very difficult to investigate these chat records. After all, the warrior guild's client had always been protecting privacy. If they broke the rules for a vice president, it would have no credibility, so Xiao Chen wasn't worried that his guild's client would be monitored. After speaking with Yi Xiaoya, Xiao Chen, he picked up the 5 poison secrets and began reading. Xiao Chen's reading. The profound meaning of cultivation in this book was actually to use poison to enter martial arts, to use poison to enter the Tao, and to use poison to cultivate. It could be said to be a devil cultivator, but it could also be said to be a devil cultivator. Of course, it wasn't a way to harm people. It was closer to a devil cultivator. However, it was different from a devil cultivator. From what Xiao Chen saw, using poison to kill people, cultivating the 5 poison secrets could improve one's strength, but the overall strength was worse than a pure martial cultivator and a devil cultivator. However, it could be made up for with poison. This was a bit interesting. Xiao Chen looked at it and asked the Elder Heaven Ancestor. Elder Heaven Ancestor, do you think I can cultivate this 5 poison secrets? It should be possible. It doesn't conflict with your cultivation. Besides, you can't cultivate inner strength, but it doesn't mean you can't cultivate devil cultivator things. The Elder Heaven Ancestor said. You can try, but I have some impression of this 5 poison secrets in my memory. Wait for me to think of it, then you can try. Okay. Xiao Chen naturally listened to the Elder Heaven Ancestor. If the Elder Heaven Ancestor didn't say anything, he didn't dare to cultivate casually. If he cultivated wrong, then he would be screwed. Xiao Chen thought for a moment and put the 5 poison secrets aside. Then, he picked up the 10,000 poison scripture and detoxification scripture to read. Inside, there was an introduction of various poisons, as well as the method to concoct and detoxify. This made Xiao Chen feel that it was somewhat useful. People in the Jianghu had to be on guard. What if someone didn't abide by the rules and poisoned him in the future? Xiao Chen planned to take some time every day to study these 2 books. Although it was useless now, it would certainly be useful in the future. The night was silent. Xiao Chen cultivated attentively. He had been stuck in the 9th layer of the qi refining stage for some time. Although it wasn't very long, for Xiao Chen, it was a long process. However, he didn't touch the barrier of the peak of the 9th layer at all. He felt that he was still lacking something. It might be that in these few battles, it was too easy to defeat the opponents, and he didn't play to the limit. So, Xiao Chen wanted to find the opportunity to break through. After stretching, Xiao Chen went to the kitchen to make breakfast for Song Huawu. It didn't take long for Song Huawu to come out of the room yawning. Seeing Xiao Chen busy in the kitchen, she was a little surprised. I'm so sleepy. I didn't sleep enough. Why did you get up so early? I'm so tired these 2 days. I want to sleep all the time. I wanted to go out and have some breakfast. Hee, I'm fine. Xiao Chen smiled and served the last dish of tomato soup. There were also a few flour rolls. This was the noodles that Xiao Chen sent in advance. He specialized in making youtiao, so it was easy for him to make these small pastries. I didn't expect that there would be flour rolls and soup in the morning. Cheng Menjing is really lucky. Song Huawu couldn't help but be a little envious. It's not you now, Xiao Chen said. I'm just temporary. Besides, I'm not anyone to you. Song Huawu shrugged. This temporary might not be for long. I can't go back as long as the wanted order isn't revoked. This Xia Zhili is too much. While Xiao Chen was talking, his phone rang. It was the mobile phone of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. Looking at the caller ID, it was really Xia Zhili. Xiao Chen made a shushing gesture to Song Huawu, then picked up the phone and said, Deputy Bureau Chief Xia, hello. Jiannan, how is it? Did Song Huawu and Xia Shibin go back? I heard that they have already come out from the ancient ruins. Did they get the book I asked you to get for me? Have you told them? Xia Zhili asked. Yes, but I haven't had the time to ask them. They came back yesterday. How about this, I'll ask them and get back to you. Xiao Chen said. Okay, I'll wait for your call. Xia Zhili looked a little anxious. Obviously, he valued the book very much. After hanging up the phone, Xiao Chen asked in his heart, Elder Heaven Ancestor, can I give the 5 poison manual to Xia Zhili? You can give it to him. I just remembered something about the 5 poison manual. You can cultivate it. As for him. Elder Sky paused for a moment before continuing, if I remember correctly, the pills you took out from the ruins were meant to assist in cultivation. Xia Zhili doesn't have any pills. If he tries to forcefully cultivate it, it will be dangerous. Oh? Dangerous? What will happen? Xiao Chen was surprised. I don't know. Maybe he will cultivate to death. Elder Heaven Ancestor said. But the manual should say that he can only cultivate with pills. If he doesn't have them, he might not cultivate. Oh, since that's the case, I won't give him pills. I'll make a copy and give it to him. Xiao Chen felt relieved. This was equivalent to a useless thing. And if Xia Zhili got it, not only would he not say anything, he would also have to give him cultivation resources. Okay, give it to him. When he dies, think of a way to cancel the warrant. Elder Heaven Ancestor said. You always change your appearance, it's a waste of yuan qi, so it's not good for breaking through. So that's why I haven't broken through. Xiao Chen suddenly understood. I was wondering why I felt that I didn't have enough yuan qi. It seems like I can't reach the barrier. It's because I used it up. Yes, but it's a good thing that you don't use illusions here. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to move forward. Elder Heaven Ancestor said. Huawu, you eat first. I'll make a copy of the 5 poison manual and send it to Xia Zhili. Xiao Chen said. Oh? You plan to give it to him? Song Huawu was surprised. I don't have much use for it. It's not bad to be able to exchange it for some cultivation resources. I can't use it, but I can give it to you. Xiao Chen said. For me? Song Huawu was stunned, and then her face turned red. She didn't expect Xiao Chen to say that. Why was he willing to give his cultivation resources to her? In the past, even if Yang Tan liked her and pursued her, he had never shared his cultivation resources. After all, these things were treasures for cultivation. No one would share them. No matter how much he liked her, Yang Tan couldn't give it to her, because strength was the foundation of a martial artist. Without strength, it would be difficult to move a step forward. In Yang Tan's view, he could only control Song Huawu if he had strength. If he didn't have strength, Song Huawu wouldn't like him and rely on him. Therefore, his cultivation resources were exclusive to him. Yes, I can't use it anyway. I'm a demonic cultivator. Those ordinary cultivation resources aren't very useful to me. Xiao Chen said. Ordinary? Song Huawu's eyes widened. You wouldn't say that if you saw it. How could it be ordinary? Yang Tan's resources are useful even for demonic cultivators. Moreover, they would covet it. Don't talk big. Wait until you see it, then decide whether to give it to me or not. Hee, there's no need to look. I said I'll give it to you, so I'll definitely give it to you. Xiao Chen smiled. His cultivation path was different from others. He was a cultivator, not a martial artist. Therefore, these martial artists' resources were rarely useful to him. Even if they were useful, they were mainly auxiliary and not main. Song Huawu blinked and didn't say anything. She felt that Xiao Chen was a little too generous, but she also felt that Xiao Chen couldn't be so generous. I'm not anyone to him. Why would he give it to me so casually? Even if he likes me, he can't do this, right? When I'm strong enough, I can completely ignore him. Isn't he drawing water with a wicker basket? Song Huawu's imagination ran wild. Xiao Chen went to his room to copy the 5 Poisons secret manual. When Xiao Chen came out again, it was already 2 hours later. Although the 5 Poisons secret manual wasn't long, because it was written vertically, Xiao Chen had a hard time copying it. Chapter 519. You've settled it? Song Huawu asked. Yes, if Xia Zili asks you, just say that you only found this secret manual in the ancient ruins. Don't mention anything else. Just say that someone else took it. Xiao Chen instructed. Okay, got it. Song Huawu nodded. I'll remind Xia Shibin later. Pack up. We'll make a trip to the Supernatural Investigation Bureau and meet Xia Zili, Xiao Chen said. Okay. Song Huawu went back to her room to change. Xiao Chen sent Xia Shibin a message, telling him to get ready and go together. 10 minutes later, the 3 of them packed up and drove to the Supernatural Investigation Bureau's Northern Division. This was Xiao Chen's second time here, but he was very familiar with the place. He skillfully avoided the surveillance equipment and arrived at Xia Zili's office. He knocked on the door, and Xia Zili's voice came from inside. Who is it? It's me, Yang Jiannan. Xiao Chen said. Come in quickly. Xia Zili was a little anxious. When Xiao Chen pushed the door open and entered, he realized that there were other people in his office. However, when he saw Xiao Chen, Xia Zili impatiently sent him away. We'll talk about your matter next time. You didn't achieve anything this year, and you still want cultivation resources? What are you doing? You can't even do what I told you, and you were even beaten up when you were discovered. What a piece of trash. Get lost. Yes, yes, yes. I'm sorry, Deputy Bureau Chief Xia. The man had an apologetic look on his face as he carefully left the office. After he left and closed the door, Xia Zili immediately put on a smile and said, Jiannan, why did you come in person? Is there news about the 5 Poisons secret manual? Yes, Huawu and Shibin found this book in the ancient ruins. The 2 of them spent a lot of effort to get this book from other explorers. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to gain an advantage even if they were members of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. Xiao Chen explained. Deputy Bureau Chief Xia, you might have heard about a mysterious person called Grandma Nanshan. She's very powerful, and her disciples are 3rd-stage martial masters. Yes, I heard about it. I have my own information channel. You guys did well. Huawu, Shibin, I'll remember you. I'll give you some cultivation resources this year. Xia Zili was overjoyed when he heard that he got the book. Jiannan, where's the book? Here. Xiao Chen took out the 5 Poisons secret manual and handed it to Xia Zili. Xia Zili carefully took it and flipped through a few pages. He nodded repeatedly. Not bad, this is the book. Jiannan, you've done well. Your mission in Songning City can come to an end now. Pack up, I have a new mission for you to do. New? Xiao Chen was slightly taken aback. He had never thought of leaving Songning City. That was his hometown. Him pretending to be Yang Tan was just an expedient measure. He did not really treat himself as someone from the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. Now that he heard Xia Zhili's tone, it seemed like he was going to give him a mission. Xiao Chen was really not used to it. Just now, I scolded Lil Meng and sent him out. You also saw that he messed up that mission. He has already been seen through and is no longer suitable to continue with the mission. Therefore, I have decided that you will take over his mission. Hua Wu and Shibin will cooperate with you to complete this mission. Xia Zhili said, I don't need to tell you what the mission is. Xiao Meng's previous mission was also arranged by you. Yes. Deputy Director Xia. Although Xiao Chen said so, he was thinking, who the hell is Little Meng? What the hell was a mission? He had no recollection of it at all. If this matter is done, it will probably be the end of the year. Don't worry, you have contributed a lot this year. I will help you apply for additional cultivation rewards. Xia Zhili said, don't worry, I won't forget you. Okay, thank you, Deputy Bureau Chief Xia. Xiao Chen quickly thanked her. He didn't dare to ask more. If he said too much, he would slip up easily. Therefore, Xiao Chen turned around and left Xia Zhili's office. When he got out of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau and got in the car, Xiao Chen asked, who is Lil Meng? What is the mission? Lil Meng is the deputy team leader of our C team. He is the person who was scolded by Deputy Bureau Chief Xia just now. Xia Zhili said, it's just that he and Brother Yang don't get along. You always speak ill of him behind his back, so Deputy Bureau Chief Xia doesn't like him. I see. Xiao Chen was not clear at all. What about the mission? What is the mission? The mission is like this. In Lon City, there is a military research base that is researching some advanced technology. However, there are always some illegal organizations who covet the research projects inside and want to take the research projects out. The security of the research base is the responsibility of our Supernatural Investigation Bureau's C team. Song Huawu explained, previously, it was Deputy Team Leader Tan Guanmeng who was in charge. It should be because he failed the mission and was discovered. His identity was exposed and he was taught a lesson. He couldn't continue to protect there secretly, so the mission fell to us. Gosh, that means we have to go to Lon City and not Songning? Xiao Chen was a little depressed. Yes, the mission of our Supernatural Investigation Bureau is to go from here to there. We have to travel back and forth across the country. I am only in Songning City because of the mission. Now that these two missions are over, it's time to go, Song Huawu said. Okay. Xiao Chen couldn't afford to lose the identity of Yang Tan. If Yang Tan was gone, it would be more disadvantageous for him. Therefore, he could only nod and agree. In that case, let's go back and pack up. We'll go to Lon City. Then, you can tell me the specific details of the mission. No problem. Song Huawu began to introduce the mission to Xiao Chen. It turned out that this research institute had researched a relatively advanced energy body and weapon. Now, not only did some foreign agents want to get their hands on these things, but even some international criminal organizations also wanted to get their hands on these high-tech things. Of course, these were not the main problems. It would be fine as long as the security was strengthened. However, Tan Guanmeng was also responsible for protecting the families of the key personnel in the research institute while protecting the safety of the research institute. The most depressing thing was that he had accidentally leaked the information of the daughter of the person in charge of the research institute. Therefore, the enemy knew who the daughter of the person in charge was. As a result, the safety of his daughter became a major problem. His daughter was also very angry. Originally, no one paid attention to her background when she went to school every day. However, because of Tan Guanmeng's actions, her identity was exposed, and it was impossible for her to go to school. Therefore, she had to take a week of sick leave from school. Until now, she didn't dare to go to school. She was afraid that she would get into trouble and be kidnapped to threaten the person in charge of the research institute. After listening to Song Huawu's introduction, Xiaochen suddenly had a headache. What kind of mess is this? This kind of thing is the most difficult to do. Does the daughter of the person in charge still want to go to school? We have no right to ask her to drop out of school, and she doesn't want to drop out. Does she want to drop out of school just because her father is the person in charge of the research institute? This is too unrealistic, and this is also the result of our mistake, so. Song Huawu spread her hands and said helplessly, in the end, Tan Guanmeng is your subordinate. If you don't wipe his PP, who will do it? Xiao Chen was a little speechless after listening to this. He said, then, who will protect the daughter of the person in charge? Song Huawu and Xia Shibin looked at Xiao Chen together. It can't be me, right? Xiao Chen said gloomily. Actually, only this task is the easiest. The other tasks are dealing with the research institute and contacting the other members of Team C. Are you sure you can do it? Song Huawu asked. This. Xiao Chen frowned. His identity was fake. If something went wrong, it would be easy to be exposed. Only this identity is hidden. We will directly enter the military base, and you will pretend to be a student and go to the school of the person in charge's daughter. Then, you will be responsible for protecting her. Song Huawu said. And because of this task, you can get a mask from the bureau. After wearing this mask, you can change your face. Although you can't fool experts, you can still fool ordinary martial artists. The most important thing is that it is not easy for your identity to be exposed. There is a mask? Okay, then this is it. Xiao Chen was immediately happy when he heard that. It was a waste of primordial energy for him to change his appearance now. If he had a mask, this problem would be solved. Naturally, he would not refuse. Song Huawu and Xia Shibin heaved a sigh of relief because what Xiao Chen was doing was very troublesome. They couldn't do it well. Most importantly, Xiao Chen was more like a student than they were. They were just pretending to go to school. After a long time, it would be easy for them to attract attention. If they were exposed, it would be for nothing. Now that the identity of the person in charge's daughter had been exposed, she would definitely receive attention. If there was someone else around her, others would definitely pay special attention. Therefore, Xiao Chen was the most suitable. This way, because of the identity requirement, even if you meet other members of Team C, they won't suspect anything if you don't know them. After all, your identity doesn't allow you to casually talk to them. Otherwise, it will be easy for problems to arise, Song Huawu said. Alright, then give me the information of the protected target, Xiao Chen said. I'm applying, but Deputy Bureau Chief Xia should still be going through the process. We will only have the authority to view those information when he officially authorizes the mission to us. Song Huawu said. Xiao Chen nodded. As they spoke, they had already returned to Songning City. Song Huawu and Xia Shibin went to pack their things. Xiao Chen had nothing to pack, so he called the Chen family. It was reasonable to inform the Chen family that he was leaving. Otherwise, his identity would be suspected. Chapter 520. Before leaving, Xiao Chen went to the Cheng family again. It could be considered as an invitation from old Master Cheng to go to Lan City. He didn't know how long he would be there. He always had some worries in his heart. He was worried about the miss, and he was tangled about the mastermind behind the scenes. This time, he went to the Cheng family to fulfill this wish. Old Master Cheng Tianqiu. Xiaochen dialed the phone number that Cheng Tianqiu left for him. This was a new number. Xiaochen applied for another card. Yes, you are. Cheng Tianqiu was stunned because it was an unfamiliar number on the phone, but the voice was familiar. Immediately, he thought of who it was and quickly said, "Is it young hero Xiao Chang?" "Hello, hello. Why are you calling this old man? What's the matter?" I have to leave Jiduan City. Before I leave, I want to visit you in Songning City, and then I will go to other cities. I don't know when I will come back. Xiaochen said. Good, great. When will young hero Xiao come? This old man will prepare. When Cheng Tianqiu heard that Xiao Chang was coming to visit, he was overjoyed. He wanted to matchmake Cheng Menjing and Xiaochen, but Xiaoen's had already been thrown to the back of his mind. He didn't want to bother with him at all. Xiaoen's also knew that the exploration of the ruins almost cost everyone their lives because of him, so he didn't say much. After coming out of the ruins, he left Songning City dejectedly. Tonight, said Xiaochen. Okay, then I will prepare, said Cheng Tianqiu. After hanging up the phone, Cheng Tianqiu personally dialed Cheng Menjing's phone number. These days, Cheng Menjing had been worried. Although she knew that Xiaochen was definitely fine, she couldn't help but be a little worried. There had been no news from Xiaochen for several days. She didn't know why she would miss Xiaochen, but every time she thought of Xiaochen in the villa, preparing breakfast and dinner for her, accompanying her to go shopping, and going to school, she would feel very warm. Even sitting with Xiaochen to eat instant noodles had become a very nostalgic memory. In the villa, Xiaochen suddenly disappeared. Cheng Menjing felt lonely. Because Xiaochen didn't cook, Yi Xiaoye didn't come down to eat. Cheng Menjing and Jean Bebe basically bought food. The phone rang. Cheng Menjing took a look at it. It was a call from home. She picked it up weakly. Hello, Menjing, it's Grandpa. Cheng Tianqiu said excitedly, are you free tonight? I need to go home. Ah, Grandpa, tonight? Cheng Menjing was slightly stunned. Today was not the weekend, nor was it a festival. Why did he suddenly ask her to go home? Was it because of Xiaoen's? She had heard from her father that Xiaoen's was very close to the Cheng family recently. It seemed that he wanted to talk to old Master Cheng about her and him. However, Cheng Menjing disliked Xiaoen's very much, so she pretended that she didn't know anything and didn't say anything. Yes, let me introduce a young talent to you, said Cheng Tianqiu. He is really a young talent. He is young and promising. Xiaoen's? Cheng Menjing frowned. No, it's someone else. You will know when you come, said Cheng Tianqiu. Can I not see him? Cheng Menjing resisted. No, this is an order from the family. You must come back, Cheng Tianqiu said seriously. Then, okay. Cheng Menjing sighed. Most of the time, the children of aristocratic families had no choice. It was the same when she was engaged to Xiaochen. She couldn't resist. Cheng Menjing hung up the phone unhappily. Jean Bebe, who was beside her, roughly heard the conversation and said, Cousin Menjing, what young talent? My grandpa said he would introduce me to a young talent. Cheng Menjing said unhappily, didn't I break off the engagement with Xiaochen? They always want to marry me again. It was Xiaoen's before, and now there is another young talent. Young talent? Then we can go and have a look, said Jean Bebe. What do you want to see? I don't want to see him. I'm not in the mood to see him. Your cousin-in-law. Oh, no, Xiaochen is missing. I don't know how he is doing. Cheng Menjing glared at Jean Bebe. It's all your fault. What does it have to do with me? Cousin Menjing said it herself. Jean Bebe felt wronged. You used to call him cousin-in-law all the time. I'm getting used to it, said Qing Menjing. How can I be blamed for something like that? Jean Bebe was a little upset. Tonight, you will go back to the Qing family with me. Help me block that so-called young talent. It's better if he gives up, said Qing Menjing. Okay. Jean Bebe nodded. Can you not talk like that? Who did you learn it from? Asked Qing Menjing. In the Campus Bells Ace mobile game and the TV series, that Yushu likes to bark. I think it's quite fun, so I invented a bark, said Jean Bebe. No more bark. Qing Menjing was a little annoyed by her bark. Ow. Jean Bebe nodded. I said no more. Qing Menjing said angrily. I said, ow. Jean Bebe explained. Qing Menjing ignored her. After school at night, although Qing Menjing was reluctant, she still went to the Qing family with Jean Bebe. Seeing his daughter's unhappy face, Qing Zhongming felt a little helpless. He had no say in the Qing family. No one paid attention to his words. With Qing Zhongming interfering and Qing Tianqiu making the final decision, what else could he say? He could only look at his daughter helplessly. Menjing, you're back. Yes. Dad, what's going on? Why do you want me to meet that young talent all of a sudden? Who is it? Asked Qing Menjing. I don't know the details, but I heard that it's your grandpa. He saved your life when we were exploring the ancient ruins a few days ago. He's very powerful, and your grandpa admires him a lot. Said Qing Zhongming. Huh? Is he here? Qing Menjing knew that her grandpa went to the ancient ruins, but she didn't know the details, so she didn't ask. Yes, he's here. He's secretly investigating with your grandpa. But, his name is a little strange. His surname is also Xiao. Qing Zhongming said. What's wrong with his surname? Qing Menjing's heart skipped a beat, but she pretended to be indifferent. In fact, she thought of Xiao Chen again at this moment. His surname is Xiao. Jean Bebe's eyes lit up. Then I have to go and see if he's also a transformer. Bebe, don't be reckless. This person is definitely very powerful. Even if I don't like him, don't make the Qing family hate you. It's best to outsmart him and make him back off. Qing Menjing reminded her. Got it. Jean Bebe nodded. Under Qing Zhongming's lead, the two of them entered the living room of the Qing family. At this moment, Xiao Chen was sitting in the living room. His appearance had changed to that of Xiao Chang. At this moment, he was talking cheerfully with Qing Tianqiu. Thank you, young hero Xiao. Otherwise, I would have died in the ancient ruins. Qing Tianqiu said emotionally. It's just a piece of cake. Xiao Chen picked up the teacup and took a sip. Then, he smiled calmly. By the way, you told me just now that your granddaughter is a rare beauty. I wonder if she has finished school. Hearing that Xiao Chang was interested in Qing Menjing, Qing Tianqiu was overjoyed. It seemed that his bragging just now was worth it. It seemed that Xiao Chang had really listened to him. So, he quickly said, she should be soon. School is almost over. Speak of the devil. He's here. Menjing, come here quickly. Let me introduce you to the talented young man, young hero Xiao Chang. Oh. Qing Menjing walked over reluctantly and nodded at Xiao Chen reluctantly. Hello, young hero Xiao, hello, transformer. Jean Bebe greeted Xiao Chen. Pooh. Cough, cough, cough. Xiao Chen almost choked to death. I've been recognized again. That's impossible, right? This is too amazing, isn't it? Does Jean Bebe have a pair of discerning eyes? However, Xiao Chen still asked tentatively, well. Little beauty, what's a transformer? Why did you call me that? Nothing. I was just joking, Jean Bebe said. This is my granddaughter's good friend. She likes to joke. Cheng Tianxiu tried to smooth things over. Young hero Xiao, please don't mind her. This is my granddaughter, Cheng Menjing. It doesn't matter. Your granddaughter's good friend has big breasts and is quite cute. Xiao Chen looked at Jean Bebe lecherously. In fact, he had come to see Cheng Menjing in secret and did not want to expose his identity. If he was exposed, he would not know what to say or how to face her. It would be better to just meet her. Jean Bebe was too amazing. Therefore, Xiao Chen could only pretend to be a lecher so that she would hate him. Then, it would be inappropriate for her to pay attention to him directly. Is that so? Oh. Cousin-in-law, you have good taste. Jean Bebe said happily. Do you like me, too? Pooh. Cough, cough, cough. Xiao Chen's hands shook so hard that he almost smashed the teacup in his hand on her head. Well. What does cousin-in-law mean? Huh? Aren't you the guy that Grandpa Cheng introduced to cousin Menjing? Doesn't that make you cousin-in-law? Isn't that right? Jean Bebe touched her forehead and said in confusion. Jean Bebe, are you having a fever? What nonsense are you talking about? Cheng Menjing looked at Jean Bebe in confusion. Is this girl in heat or something? She had asked her to help her block Xiao Chang, but she did not expect that she would fall for him first. Xiao Chang was obviously a lecher whose eyes were almost glued to Jean Bebe's breasts. Why would Jean Bebe be interested in such a person? Or, was Jean Bebe going to praise him first and then criticize him later in order to set him up? Cheng Menjing was more or less confused. Why was she calling him cousin-in-law? Was it not messy enough? You didn't get a fever, did you? Jean Bebe touched her forehead in a serious manner before extending her hand to Xiao Chen. Chapter 521. The next moment, Jean Bebe's hand touched Xiao Chen's forehead. It's as hot as my cousin-in-law's. I'm sure you don't have a fever. Percent. Cheng Menjing was a little speechless. Can you not be so intimate with him? Xiao Chen was also a little confused. Did she really see through him again? How did she see through him? Huh, old Master Cheng, your granddaughter's friend is really lively and lovely. Xiao Chen smiled. He was a little overwhelmed. Yes, she likes to play around. Cheng Tianxiu, however, was unhappy. Damn it. Don't let Jean Bebe take him away. He is a super good candidate for my grandson-in-law. If he is taken away, won't I cry my heart out? Thinking of this, Cheng Tianxiu said, Okay, I've prepared a sumptuous dinner. Let's go and have a meal together. Okay, let's go. Xiao Chen nodded and said. He was a little afraid of Jean Bebe. He didn't know if she was testing him, or if she had really recognized him, or if she had some tricks up her sleeves. They walked to the banquet hall together. At this time, Cheng Xiaofan also walked over with Cheng Mengqiang. Cheng Xiaofan walked over with a smile and said to Xiao Chen warmly, Young Master Xiao Chen, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for saving my father's life in the antiquity relics. Mengqiang, come and say hello to young Master Xiao. Nice to meet you, young Master Xiao. Welcome to the Cheng family. Cheng Mengqiang also said politely. Oh, Cheng Mengqiang, I've heard of you. One of my martial arts sects mentioned you to me. Xiao Chen said calmly. Instantly, Cheng Mengqiang's expression changed slightly. Cheng Xiaofan, who was beside him, also forced himself to remain calm. He did not know how to reply, but Cheng Tianxiu, who was beside him, was a little surprised. Huh? Meng Chang, do you have any friends from the martial arts sects? The so-called martial arts sect was a higher level than the real martial clan and the real martial sect. These sects were the real martial arts people, while the real martial clan and the real martial sect were just the inheritance of the martial arts world. They were not the real martial arts world, but gradually connected with the secular world. As for Granny Nan Shan, she should have come from the real martial arts world. Although Xiaochun wasn't sure what the martial arts world was about, and Yi Xiaoya's Devil Star sect wasn't even a real martial arts sect, Xiaochun only guessed that a sect that could influence the warrior guild's trial missions should be a higher-level sect. At the very least, the Demon Star sect couldn't do it. Hence, he probed and asked to see Cheng Mengxiang's reaction. And the result, Xiaochun was very satisfied. As expected, Cheng Tianqiu shouldn't know about this. Of course, he couldn't rule out the possibility that he was old and shrewd, hiding it well. However, Xiaochun was more willing to believe in his sixth senses. Cheng Xiaofan and Cheng Mengxiang knew about the martial arts sects, and they seemed to really know someone. However, Cheng Tianqiu didn't know. Otherwise, he wouldn't have asked with such an expression. I don't know either. Maybe we met at the Righteous and Demonic Summit? Sigh, what a pity. I don't even know who young hero Xiao is talking about. Cheng Mengxiang explained, pretending to be relaxed. I see. Cheng Tianqiu was a little regretful. To be able to be friends with people from the martial arts sects was undoubtedly equivalent to being friends with a tycoon in the secular world. However, Cheng Mengxiang might not have cared at that time, so he could only give up. That's nothing. Xiaochun waved his hand and said, I happen to be hungry. Let's eat. Yes, let's eat. Cheng Xiaofan laughed and invited Xiaochun to take a seat. Xiaochun naturally sat next to Cheng Tianqiu, and Cheng Tianqiu was about to let his granddaughter sit next to Xiaochun. However, before he said anything, Jin Beibei sat next to Xiaochun. Cheng Menjing was naturally happy to sit on the other side of Jin Beibei. However, she still didn't know what Jin Beibei was going to do. The kitchen was already ready. As soon as everyone sat down, delicious food was served. Cheng Tianqiu smiled and picked up his wine glass. Thanks to young hero Zhao's care in the ancient ruins. Young hero Xiao is young and promising. You're already a martial arts master at such a young age. It's admirable. Young hero Xiao, are you married? You're welcome. Not yet, Xiaochun said. Not yet. Young hero Xiao, what do you think of my granddaughter? Cheng Tianqiu took advantage of the situation and said shamelessly, Cheng Menjing is a beautiful girl at the school level. Not bad, right? Yes, it's pretty good. Xiaochun nodded. Young hero Xiao, what do you think? I want to betroth my granddaughter to you as a repayment for saving my life. Cheng Tianqiu's words were a little shameless. He was obviously trying to rope in Xiaochun, but he said it was a repayment. Cheng Xiaofan frowned slightly. To be honest, he didn't want Cheng Menjing to marry Xiao Chang. Although it seemed to be beneficial to the Cheng family, Xiao Chang's strength was too high and his background was unknown. There were too many uncontrollable factors. It might be disadvantageous for Cheng Mengxiang to control the Cheng family in the future, so he didn't want Xiao Chang to be the son-in-law of the Cheng family. However, he didn't have any say in the Cheng family. Seeing that Cheng Tianqiu was determined to do this, it wasn't good for him to interrupt. He could only hope that Xiao Chang would refuse. Oh. I'll think about it, but I'm not strong enough right now. I might not be able to marry your granddaughter. Xiaochun said after thinking for a while. Cheng Menjing heaved a sigh of relief. Cheng Mengxiang and Cheng Xiaofan also heaved a sigh of relief. However, Cheng Tianqiu took a deep breath. Young hero Xiao, if you aren't strong now, then what is? You live up to your name, Xiao Chang. Are you very strong? You're practically young Master Chang. What I mean is that I agree to this marriage. I like Miss Menjing a lot too. However, the day I look down on the world will be the day I marry Menjing. Xiaochun said with a smile. Actually, he wasn't just saying it casually. He just didn't know why he said it. Could it be that he still liked Cheng Menjing subconsciously and couldn't forget her? Perhaps, that was really the case. He wouldn't cherish the time that belonged to him. Only when he lost it would he know how precious it was. Now that he had a chance to grasp her again, Xiaochen definitely wouldn't give it up. Cheng Menjing's face paled slightly. Who wants to marry you? Look down on the world. It's best if you get killed early. You came to the Cheng family to act cool. Do you think I like you? Aren't you afraid of hurting your tongue with your big talk? Okay. Cousin-in-law, when you look down on the world, do you want a mistress? Jean Bebe asked. Xiaochen was a little speechless. What kind of logic was that? Do you think I will? Yes. What do you think? Jean Bebe nodded. Okay. Xiaochen smiled tentatively and carefully observed Jean Bebe's expression. However, he couldn't see anything. Cheng Menjing lowered her head and didn't say anything. The entire meal depended on Cheng Tianqiu to adjust the atmosphere. Cheng Xiaofan and Cheng Mengqiang were also a little depressed. However, fortunately, Xiao Chang wasn't going to marry Cheng Menjing now. They still had a chance. At that time, the situation might have been decided. In that case, it wouldn't matter who Cheng Menjing married. It would have nothing to do with them. Thinking of this, Cheng Xiaofan and Cheng Mengqiang looked at each other and calmed down. After toasting each other, Xiaochen was happy. He was engaged to Cheng Menjing again. Although he was using Xiao Chang's identity, it was still him. He was very happy, very happy. She was back. The young mistress had returned to his side. No matter what, she belonged to him again. Therefore, Xiaochen couldn't help but drink a few more cups. Cheng Tianqiu urged Xiaochen to drink more, and he didn't refuse. I'm going to the washroom. Xiaochen drank too much, but he wasn't drunk. He just needed to pee, so he planned to go to the washroom. Oh, I'm going too. Jean Bebe also stood up and followed him. Originally, Cheng Tianqiu wanted Cheng Menjing to bring Xiao Chang to the washroom. He was afraid that Xiao Chang wouldn't know the washroom in the restaurant. In the end, Jean Bebe went there, so he couldn't say anything. Jean Bebe often came to the Cheng family, so she knew the washroom. Xiaochen sensed that Jean Bebe had followed him, but he didn't look back. Instead, he walked all the way to the washroom. He really wanted to pee, but when he walked in and unbuttoned his pants to pee, he heard footsteps behind him. Cousin-in-law. Xiaochen was so scared that he quickly pulled up his pants. In the end, he peed all over his pants, which made him a little depressed. He turned his head with a dark expression and said, Jean Bebe, right? Why are you in the men's washroom? What the heck? You really came here to pee? Jean Bebe looked at Xiaochen's wet pants and widened her eyes. Nonsense. I came to the washroom. What else can I do but use the washroom? Xiaochen was a little speechless. Oh, go ahead then. Bebe will wait for you, Jean Bebe said. How can I pee when you are standing here? Xiaochen said with a bitter smile. We are so familiar with each other. It's okay, right? Besides, Bebe won't peek, Jean Bebe said. What do you mean? Xiaochen asked. I know you like cousin Menjing, don't you? Look, you transformed into Xiao Chang and got engaged to cousin Menjing, Jean Bebe said with a smile. Transformed? You know who I am? Xiaochen asked. Aren't you Yang Tan? Jean Bebe said. Huh? Xiaochen was stunned. Then are you White Fox? Jean Bebe asked again. Xiaochen was speechless. Alright, cousin-in-law, stop fooling around. Go ahead and pee. I will wait for you at the door. If you keep holding it in and explode, cousin Menjing won't be able to have sex in the future. What am I going to do if she comes after me? Jean Bebe turned around and walked out while mumbling. Xiao Chen slapped his forehead. I was still recognized in the end? This can't be, right? Why am I always recognized? Am I so easy to be recognized? Looking at Jean Bebe's expression, Xiao Chen was 100% sure that she had recognized him. Looking at his wet pants, Xiao Chen used some of his primordial energy to dry them. Otherwise, it would be too embarrassing to go out like this. After walking out of the washroom, Jean Bebe was still looking at herself in the mirror. She puffed her cheeks and made some funny movements. Seeing Xiao Chen come out, she said, "Cousin-in-law, you are out. Is the relic fun? Did you bring me a present?" Chapter 522. Bebe, how exactly did you recognize me? It was the question that Xiao Chen was most concerned about. If Jean Bebe could recognize him, could other people recognize him, too? It's very simple, Jean Bebe said while looking at Xiao Chen. I've seen the shoes you're wearing before. Shoes? Xiao Chen was dazed for a moment. He lowered his head and looked at his feet. It was true that he could wear Yang Tan's clothes and pretend to be Yang Tan, but he had neglected the detail about the shoes. Even those who were familiar with Xiao Chen would not notice the detail or think about it at all. After all, it was really difficult to tell the size of the shoes from the outside. Also, it was possible that they were wearing the same clothes. It was impossible to say that other people could not buy the shoes that he had bought. Therefore, it was not a loophole at all. Instead, Jean Bebe took it as a mark of identification. Xiao Chen was somewhat confused. Well, although it can be used as proof, I can't be so sure, can I? Yes. Didn't I touch your face? Jean Bebe, however, said, although your face has changed into something else, it feels exactly the same. I can tell that it's you the moment I touch you. That explains a lot. Xiao Chen was greatly enlightened. No wonder Jean Bebe was so sure. She had touched him. However, it was true that she had observed him carefully. I can't hide it from you every time, he. I'm Detective Bei 007. Jean Bebe said. You must be mentally deranged from watching TV, Xiao Chen said with a smile. Cousin-in-law, are you leaving Songning City? Asked Jean Bebe. Yes. It's not convenient for me to show up in Songning City. My current identity is Yang Tan. The Supernatural Investigation Bureau has arranged a mission for me in Lan City. I'm going there with Song Huawu, said Xiao Chen. Song Huawu? Cousin-in-law, do you like her? Jean Bebe keenly thought of something. We're just working partners. I'm quite close to her. She's a nice person, too. Xiao Chen said, don't overthink. Tell Yi Xiaoye that I'm leaving secretly when you're free. Let her train herself. As for the eldest daughter, don't mention her. Why? Cousin Menjing will be worried about you. Jean Bebe was confused. Just now. I was engaged to her as Xiao Chang. I'm a bit embarrassed. Xiao Chen always felt uneasy when he was with Cheng Menjing. Cousin-in-law, you're sorry. I feel that you should say goodbye to Cousin Menjing before I leave. Otherwise, if she finds out, she'll be mad at you. She's mad at you for knowing what happened between you, Sister Jingxian, and Yi Xiaoye. Jean Bebe blinked and said. Then I. Xiao Chen felt a headache coming on. Actually, he also wanted to meet the first young mistress before he left, but he had some misgivings. Now that Jean Bebe said that, he suddenly felt that he had let the first young mistress down. Bebe. Xiao Chen to Yi. Yen. Xiao Bing, he said. Xiao Chang. Chang said. Xiao Chen, okay. Xiao Chen took a deep breath and agreed. After returning to the dining room, Xiaochen sat back in his seat. Qing Tianqiu said with a smile, "Come on, young Master Xiao. Let's have a few more drinks. We won't go home until we're drunk." "Forget it. It's getting late. I should leave now." Xiaochen waved his hands and refused. He had achieved his goal and did not want to stay here any longer. Qing Tianqiu and Shen Zhenghao were similar. They were both powerful people who valued strength. However, Xiaochen would not say anything. After all, it was for the sake of his family. It was understandable. Menjing is going back to her villa, too. Why don't you go together? Why don't you go to the villa and have a chat? Qing Tianqiu suggested with a smile. I think it's a good idea. Cousin Menjing, let's go together. Jean Bebe said, let me tell you, my cousin-in-law is actually a nice guy. That's right. You should marry him. Cheng Menjing frowned. She was a little confused. What kind of magic potion did Jean Bebe drink today? Why did she speak up for Xiao Chang like this? Could it be that Jean Bebe fell in love with Xiao Chang at first sight? Oh, okay. Jean Bebe said, you said it yourself, I said it. Cheng Menjing stood up and greeted Qing Tianqiu and the others. Then, she strode out. She wanted to get rid of Xiao Chang and make him back off. She believed that he should be able to tell her attitude. If she continued to pester him, she would be shameless. Cheng Menjing felt that although she did not like Xiao Chen, she would not like anyone else either. That was it. Xiao Chen and Jean Bebe followed her out. Xiao Chen came by taxi and did not drive. When he saw Jean Bebe's car parked in the parking lot of the Cheng family's villa, he walked over, opened the door, and naturally sat in the driver's seat. Cheng Menjing wrinkled her nose. She thought that Jean Bebe had told Xiao Chang the location of the car. Otherwise, how could he know? Seeing Xiao Chang sitting in the driver's seat casually, Cheng Menjing was even more annoyed. Get off. Okay. Xiao Chen thought for a while. He wanted to talk to Missy. It was not a bad idea to sit in the back row with her. Therefore, he got off the car. Jean Bebe obviously thought of this too. She sat in the driver's seat. Cheng Menjing wanted to sit in the front passenger seat, but she found that Xiao Chen was blocking the door of the front passenger seat. In a fit of pique, she sat in the back row. However, she did not expect that Xiao Chen would directly turn around and sit in the back row. This time, Cheng Menjing was about to explode. She was just about to get off the car, but she did not expect Jean Bebe to start the car. She immediately shouted angrily, Bebe, stop the car. I can't stop. Jean Bebe swerved the car and drove out of the Cheng family's villa quickly. Xiao Chen, on the other hand, glanced at the annoyed first young mistress. He smiled faintly and moved closer to her. Hey! What are you doing? Cheng Menjing was shocked and dodged to the side subconsciously. However, she was already beside the car door and there was no space left. She could not help but say, how can you be so shameless? Missy, I have to go. Xiao Chen did not answer her. Instead, he returned to his original voice and said in a somewhat heavy tone. When Cheng Menjing suddenly heard this voice, she was a little startled. After a while, she suddenly turned her head in surprise and looked at Xiao Chang in disbelief. You, Xiao Chen smiled slightly. He stopped his transformation and turned back to the appearance of Xiao Chen. You are so infuriating. Cheng Menjing was so angry that she gritted her teeth. When she saw Xiao Chen, she was surprised and delighted. She stretched out her hand and punched Xiao Chen. However, when she thought of his strength, she did not stop there. She directly opened her mouth and bit Xiao Chen's neck. Xiao Chen was caught off guard. Missy, why are you biting me? This is what you get for lying to me. Cheng Menjing was extremely angry. Is it fun to lie to me? You even came to my house to get engaged to me? You are very proud, right? This. Xiao Chen was speechless. Humph, don't think that I will agree to the engagement just because you are Xiao Chen. Let me tell you, no way. You are my servant. Cheng Menjing glared at Xiao Chen and shouted, Did you hear me? I heard you. Xiao Chen said weakly. That's more like it. Cheng Menjing was happy. Hey, even if you are Xiao Chen, you can't be so close to me. What are you doing? Cheng Menjing lowered her head and saw that Xiao Chen was sitting very close to her. She could not help but say this. Nothing. Xiao Chen moved his body. Menjing, I am leaving. I am leaving Songning City, N. Cheng Menjing suddenly remembered what Xiao Chen said previously. You are leaving? Where are you going? My current identity is Yang Tan. The Supernatural Investigation Bureau has a mission for me to go to Lan City. I am going there. Xiao Chen said. The Supernatural Investigation Bureau has not cancelled my arrest warrant. If I want to cancel it, I must use the identity of Yang Tan to deal with it. So, I cannot lose this identity for the time being. Yang Tan? The Yang Tan in school is you? Cheng Menjing's eyes widened after hearing that. That was your disguise? N. Xiao Chen nodded. Jin Beibei. Cheng Menjing was furious. You knew it long ago, didn't you? Why didn't you tell me? No wonder you were acting weird today and called him cousin-in-law the moment you met him. You knew he was Xiao Chen long ago, right? Although she was angry, Cheng Menjing finally understood Jin Beibei's way of doing things. No wonder. If it were someone else, Jin Beibei would not be so easy to talk to and be so intimate with them. I am the fiery golden eyes shell. Jin Beibei said proudly. Cousin Menjing, you can't blame me if you couldn't tell, you are really infuriating. Cheng Menjing was speechless. Indeed, who was to blame for not being able to tell? However, she was puzzled. How did Jin Beibei see through it? In fact, this was also because Cheng Menjing was not careful. She would not pay attention to Yang Tan or Xiao Chang at all. She did not even bother to take a look at them. How could she observe so carefully? Even the white fox was Shen Jingxuan's boyfriend. Why did she stare at him? Thinking of Shen Jingxian, Cheng Menjing felt suffocated. Xiao Chen, you and Jingxian, yes. Xiao Chen did not hide it. He nodded because there was no way and no need to hide it. You are actually together. Cheng Menjing felt suffocated. When did this happen? Why didn't I know? It was that time when Chao Yuliang went to the beach with us. Jingxian and I went out to sea together. Then, something happened between us on the island. It probably started from then. Xiao Chen said, I don't know how to tell you. I feel a little sorry for you. You are my fiancé, but I am pursuing your best friend. However, I really like her. Oh. Although Cheng Menjing had accepted this fact, she was still not very happy. However, she appeared very calm on the surface. I know that you have always liked her. She is your goddess. There is nothing for you to feel sorry for. We have already broken off the engagement. You are only my servant. I have no right to interfere with who you are with. Chapter 523. Missy, aren't you angry? Xiao Chen felt that Cheng Menjing shouldn't speak in such a calm tone. Who should I be angry with? Jingxian? She's my best friend. I won't fall out with her because of a fight for a man. Cheng Menjing smiled and said, as for you, I won't be angry with you. I don't like you, so why should I be angry? Our engagement is always a combination of interests. This time is no exception. Don't think that I like you just because my grandfather agreed to you. These are two different things. Although I feel that marrying you might be better than marrying someone else. After all, we are familiar with each other, but that's just a helpless choice. Hee hee. Xiaochen smiled and didn't explain. The car went all the way back to the villa and stopped in front of the villa. Cheng Menjing suddenly felt that the road was so short. However, she said, "Are you leaving directly, or are you coming to the villa to sit? Let's go sit." As Xiaochen spoke, he returned to his appearance as Xiao Chang. The car's glass was not transparent, but he had to pay attention when he got out of the car. "Are you going to see Yi Xiaoya?" Cheng Menjing asked. Sweat. Xiaochen slapped his forehead. "Take a look at my room too. Pack up your things, and then say goodbye." "Oh." Cheng Menjing didn't say anything else. They entered the villa together. Yi Xiaoya was just about to take a look at the flower bed when she saw Cheng Menjing coming back. Seeing a man she didn't know beside them, she was a little annoyed. She mocked, "Xiaochen just left, and you found another man to come home? You're really fickle." "So what? This is the fiancé that my grandfather arranged for me. What's wrong with me bringing him back? It's still better than some people sneaking around. Every day, they take off their clothes and dual cultivate. I don't know what they are cultivating. Be careful not to get pregnant." Cheng Menjing snickered in her heart. She could finally hold her head high. "Isn't your fiancé Xiaochen?" Yi Xiaoya asked with a frown. "None of your business." Cheng Menjing snorted, then walked into the villa arrogantly, sat on the sofa, and waved to Xiaochen, "Fiancé, come and massage my legs." "Oh, okay." Xiaochen nodded conditionally. He was used to being Cheng Menjing's servant, so he didn't feel anything, so he sat beside Cheng Menjing and massaged her legs. Of course, Xiaochen didn't think it was bad. Instead, he enjoyed it. Chao Yuliang didn't even have the chance to massage the young Miss legs. How despicable. Someone touched your leg and you still look like you're enjoying it. Yi Xiaoya sneered in disdain. "I'm not as despicable as you. Taking off your clothes and dual cultivating with others." Cheng Menjing glanced at Xiaochen and said. Xiaochen broke into a sweat. How did Cheng Menjing know? Did Yi Xiaoya say it herself? However, it was also possible that my identity as a white fox was exposed, so the girls in the villa chatted unscrupulously, and then it was leaked, "I did it with one, and you did it with several," said Yi Xiaoya. "Which eye of yours saw it?" asked Cheng Menjing. "Isn't it now? You and Xiaochen before," said Yi Xiaoya. "Oh, young hero Xiao, look up and show him who you are," ordered Cheng Menjing. Xiaochen was a little speechless, but he still returned to his previous appearance. Then, he greeted Yi Xiaoya. "Little Yi, long time no see. I miss you very much, huh?" Yi Xiaoya looked at Xiaochen in disbelief. "You are Xiaochen?" Humph, some people have bad eyesight, and they still make irresponsible remarks." This was the first time that Cheng Menjing had defeated Yi Xiaoya in an overwhelming manner, so she was very happy. "Did you see it clearly? This is my fiancé. Some people do dirty things secretly, and they dare to say it in front of me. Aren't you afraid that I will kick you, the mistress, out of the villa?" Humph. Yi Xiaoya glared at Cheng Menjing. "Let him cooperate with you to act and lie to me. It's no big deal. It's just Xiaochen who spoils you. Try another person." After that, Yi Xiaoya ignored him and pulled Xiaochen. "You're back? You're fine now? Then come upstairs and accompany me for dual cultivation." After that, he looked at Cheng Menjing with a smug expression. "Huh? You, the mistress, are going too far. Xiaochen, you're not allowed to go." said Cheng Menjing. Alright, stop fooling around. I have to leave tomorrow morning. Xiaochen waved his hand helplessly and said, I'm back to see you. I might not see you for a long time. Cheng Menjing's expression changed slightly, and the smugness from before disappeared. Yi Xiaoye was also stunned. You're back, and you still want to leave? Yes, the Supernatural Investigation Bureau's arrest warrant hasn't been lifted. Yang Tan was indeed killed by me. I'm now disguised as Yang Tan. I have to find a way to stay in the Supernatural Investigation Bureau for a period of time before my arrest warrant is lifted. Xiaochen explained simply. So, I'm going to Lan City to carry out a mission. Oh. Yi Xiaoye didn't have the interest to continue quarreling with Cheng Menjing. She looked a little lonely. Then, be careful. Keep in contact with the Warrior Guild app. If there are any missions from the Warrior Guild, you can look for me to do them. Yes, when I get there, I might register a new identity in the Warrior Guild. Although this identity of White Fox is nothing, it won't be good if you're suspected when you go on missions with me. Xiaochen said, I will use the previous identity called Xiaochang. I will register a new one. Huh? Xiaochen, did you forget about me, the hostess, when you went to look for Yi Xiaoye? Cheng Menjing asked. Of course not. You're welcome to play in Lan City when you're free. Xiaochen said with a smile. That's more like it. Cheng Menjing said, you're the one who said it. I'll eat and drink as you please. The Supernatural Investigation Bureau should have a salary, right? Definitely. Xiaochen thought that he had to think of a way to get Yang Tan's salary card. However, he had to go to the bank to get a replacement card. However, he definitely couldn't verify the bank's camera system. It seemed like he had to use other methods from the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. The few of them chatted casually. In the middle of the night, Cheng Menjing couldn't take it anymore. She went to bed with Jin Beibei. However, Yi Xiaoye was looking at Xiaochen. The desire in her eyes made Xiaochen's hair stand. Xiao Yi, you, do dual cultivation with me. We won't be able to do dual cultivation for a long time in the future. I must squeeze you dry today. Yi Xiaoye said while gritting her teeth. Can you not be so cruel? You made me misunderstand. Xiaochen said. We're so familiar with each other. It's okay to make a joke. Besides, didn't we agree that you'll run for the Demon Gate's leader? Yi Xiaoye said, then I'll marry you. I won't be cruel then. Are you serious? Xiaochen looked at Yi Xiaoye. What do you think? Yi Xiaoye asked. Xiaochen looked at Yi Xiaoye, who had a faint smile on her face. He didn't know if it was real or fake, but he still went upstairs with her. This was the last night of dual cultivation, and Xiaochen was very serious. He didn't have any distracting thoughts in his mind, and he just wanted Yi Xiaoye to benefit more from it. The next morning, Xiaochen prepared breakfast for Cheng Menjing, Jin Beibei, and Yi Xiaoye. He went to the room to pack up and then left the villa. Before he left, he went to see Tang Tang. With Xiaochen's current cultivation, he could enter the Yu family's compound without alerting the Yu family. When he arrived at the door of Tang Tang's villa, Xiaochen unlocked the door with his primordial qi and then entered the villa quietly. Tang Tang was sleeping. Suddenly, she felt that someone seemed to be lying beside her. She was startled. She woke up immediately. Turning around, she found it was Xiaochen. When did you come? You scared me. Tang Tang patted her chest. Xiaochen looked at her trembling little vest and drooled. Why are you staring at me as soon as you come? Tang Tang didn't know whether to laugh or cry. You Xiaochuan said that you killed Yang Tan, but he didn't seem to be dead. But your wanted list hasn't been cancelled? Yang Tan is dead. I'm just pretending to be Yang Tan now. Xiaochen said, so it's not good for me to show up. I can only stay in the Supernatural Investigation Bureau for a while. Xiaochen briefly told Tang Tang what had happened. Tang Tang was a little silent after hearing it. After a while, she smiled and patted Xiaochen's shoulder. That's good. You can go out and gain experience. When you can settle the Supernatural Investigation Bureau and let everyone know your strength, you can take me away from the Yu family. I think the Yu family and the Tang family won't say anything at that time. Yes, I think so too. Xiaochen nodded. I came to see you and I'm leaving. I'll rush to Lon City early this morning. So soon? You're leaving now? Tang Tang was a little reluctant. Yes, I'm sorry Tang Tang. I was in Cheng Menjiang's villa last night and didn't come to see you until this morning. Xiaochen was a little apologetic. It's okay. She's your fiancée after all. Besides, we're so close. I won't be picky about your stuff. Tang Tang smiled and said, I thought you could accompany me for a little longer. Let me tell you, my period just left. Xiaochen's heart moved slightly, but he thought about the time and gave up. He didn't want Tang Tang's first time to be spent in a hurry, so he would wait until he came back. There's not enough time. Next time, I don't want to be in a hurry. Then I'll help you. Tang Tang said and got into the quilt. After coming out of the Yu family courtyard, Xiaochen called Lu Shuangshuang. After all, he had a relationship with Lu Shuangshuang. He had to tell her that he was leaving. Lu Shuangshuang saw that it was an unfamiliar number. She picked up the phone with some complaints. It was so early in the morning, it was affecting her sleep. Hello? Lu Shuangshuang asked in a daze. Lu Shuangshuang, it's me. Xiaochen said. Ah. Lu Shuangshuang woke up immediately and was not sleepy at all. Xiaochen. Are you okay? You're wanted by the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. They said you killed the leader of Team C, Yang Jiannan, and Chen Yuhan from the Extreme Ice sect. There's even a wanted poster in the Warrior Guild. Chapter 524. Yes, so I have to leave Songning City for a while. This is my new number. If you need anything, contact it. Xiaochen said, I won't be here for a while. Be careful, but it won't affect you because you have connections with the Hong Chamber of Commerce. Hongzhu was reliable and someone Xiaochen trusted. He wouldn't do anything to Lu Shuangshuang, so Lu Shuangshuang's business in the Warrior Guild wouldn't be affected even if Xiaochen left. Then be careful. I'll wait for you. Lu Shuangshuang said. I won't dare to call you if I have nothing to do. It'll affect you again. It's fine. No one will notice you. Xiaochen smiled. Don't be so nervous. I will have a new identity. It's fine even if we meet. Really? Lu Shuangshuang was a little happy after hearing that. Of course. Although Xiaochen didn't say that he was disguised as Yang Tan, he should have time to rest during the mission in Lon City. Okay. Then you must be careful. Lu Shuangshuang said nervously. I know. Xiaochen felt that Lu Shuangshuang was actually a little woman. At this moment, she was like a husband who repeatedly told him to go out. After hanging up the phone with Lu Shuangshuang, Xiaochen went to Little Hong's pharmacy. Grandma Nanshan should have already placed the spiritual jades there. Besides bidding farewell to Hongzhu, Xiaochen took the spiritual jades away. In fact, before he left, Xiaochen wanted to look for Lu Shuangshuang. However, after thinking about it, he gave up. His relationship with her was very strange. He didn't know what to say if they met. In his heart, Xiaochen hadn't completely fallen in love with Lu Shuangshuang, but he couldn't give up. This was a very strange feeling. He could only take it one step at a time. Little Hong's pharmacy had just opened. Hongzhu was fixing the big iron door outside. When he saw Xiaochen walk over and stop, he couldn't help but feel a little strange. The person in front of him looked a little familiar, but he hadn't seen his face before. He couldn't help but ask, "You want to buy medicine?" There were also people who woke up early in the morning to buy medicine, and Hongzhu had seen them before, so he did not find it strange. Let's talk inside. Xiaochen didn't use a fake voice. He still used Xiaochen's voice. Hongzhu was a little surprised. After a moment of surprise, he nodded his head and calmly turned around to enter the pharmacy. After that, he casually closed and locked the door of the pharmacy, pretending that he had not yet fully opened for business. After doing all this, Hongzhu said, "Your illusions are really too powerful, I can't see any problems at all. Can you teach me?" "Yes, but you have to become my wife." Xiaochen casually said, "This is a secret method that I won't pass on." "Huh? Fine, I'll marry you. Do you dare to marry me?" Hongzhu asked with a smile. "Forget it," Xiaochen quickly said. The Hong Clan Chamber of Commerce was too big. Xiaochen didn't want to get involved with them, otherwise, he would definitely get into endless trouble. Although his strength was superb, it was still relative. The Hong Clan Chamber of Commerce probably wouldn't take a liking to him. When the time came, rather than being hunted down by the Hong Clan Chamber of Commerce, he might as well cut ties with them as soon as possible. Coward. Hongzhu covered his mouth and laughed. "Alright, let's get down to business. Has anyone sent me anything recently?" Xiaochen asked. "Sent? You?" Hongzhu was slightly taken aback. No. No? No, two experts, one old and one young, sent me ancient jade?" Xiaochen asked curiously. "No." Hongzhu shook his head. "Are you sure no one came?" Xiaochen's heart skipped a beat. How could that be? Granny Nanshan didn't seem like someone who would go back on her word. Could she be deceiving him? Did she not want to give him the spirit jade? But that was unlikely. Listening to their conversation before, it seemed like they wanted to send it to him. At that time, they hadn't recognized him yet, so it was impossible for them to lie in front of him. However, Hongzhu shouldn't lie to him. Xiaochen felt that there was no deception in his relationship with Hongzhu. It was impossible for Hongzhu to embezzle his spirit jade and not give it to him. "No," Hongzhu said with certainty. "Xiaochen, when are you talking about? Haven't they come yet?" Xiaochen frowned. However, Jiduan City was not far from here. With Granny Nanshan and Ling Er's skills, they should be here soon. Could it be that they were delayed by something? Thinking of this, Xiaochen said, "Then help me pay attention. Someone should be sending me something. If they come, let me know and I will give you the new phone number. It's fine for now. After a while, I will have to leave, and this place will have to be taken over by someone else." Hongzhu said, "But don't worry. If someone sends this thing, I will let someone tell me. When I speak in the Hong Chamber of Commerce, no one dares to disobey me." "Okay, then I'll trouble you." Xiaochen could only think that Granny Nanshan was delayed by something. Otherwise, he really couldn't find any reason. "Are you in a hurry to leave?" Hongzhu asked. Xiaochen told Hongzhu about his plan. "If there is anything in the future, contact me by phone. Okay, let's meet again if fate wills it. Anyway, I have to leave." Hongzhu wasn't too sad. Even if Xiaochen didn't leave, she would have left anyway. "See you later." Xiaochen nodded and left Little Hong's pharmacy. Then, he stopped a taxi and quickly went to Song Huawu's residence. It was time for him to leave. Song Huawu and Xia Shibin were already prepared. They didn't have much luggage, so they each had a small bag. Song Huawu drove her own car, while Xia Shibin drove Yang Tan's car. Xiaochen got in the car, and the two cars headed for Lan City one after another. Xiaochen left his things in Xia Shibin's car and sat in Song Huawu's car. Xiaochen sat in the front passenger seat and was looking out the window at the scenery along the way. His phone rang. It was the phone from the Supernatural Investigation Bureau, and the caller ID was Xia Zhili. "Hello? Deputy Bureau Chief Xia." Xiaochen quickly answered and said politely. "Xiaochen, go to your mailbox. I've sent you the mission request. I've also sent you the information. Take a look and reply to me so that I can report it to the headquarters." Xia Zhili's voice came from the phone. Xiaochen was stunned for a moment and immediately said, "Okay, Deputy Bureau Chief Xia. Song Huawu, Xia Shibin, and I are on our way to Lan City. I'll take a look first and reply to you immediately." "Okay, I'll wait for you." After Xia Zhili finished speaking, he hung up the phone. Xiaochen frowned. He didn't know Yang Tan's email address, but he didn't ask. He could only ask Song Huawu. If he behaved strangely on the phone, Xia Zhili would definitely be suspicious. Xiaochen felt that this person was an old fox. It was best not to talk in front of him. "Xiaochen, Deputy Bureau Chief Xia is looking for you?" Song Huawu asked as she drove. "Yes, he asked me to enter the mailbox to collect a document, but I don't know how to enter Yang Tan's mailbox." "Do you know?" Xiaochen asked. "That's easy. You can use your phone and click on the mailbox sign on it to enter," Song Huawu said. "Okay." Xiaochen nodded and clicked on the mailbox. There was a prompt: "This is your first time using the Supernatural Investigation Bureau's internal mailbox application. You need to set up a password before you can use it. Please enter the password." Xiaochen was stunned for a moment, then he immediately breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, this phone was newly applied. Otherwise, even if he took Yang Tan's phone, he wouldn't know the password. After Xiaochen entered a new password, he successfully entered the mailbox and saw the email that Xia Zhili had sent to him. Xiaochen clicked on the receive button and opened it to read. This email was a mission request from the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. Xia Zhili had sent it to Yang Jiannan. If Yang Jiannan agreed to accept this mission, he had to reply to the email to express his acceptance. After opening the email, Xiaochen looked at it carefully. This mission was not difficult, but it was not easy either. Among the three of them, two were responsible for secretly protecting the safety of the research base, and the other was to infiltrate New Moon College in Lan City to protect the daughter of the person in charge of the research. In the email, other than the description of the mission, there was also a photo of the person being protected. Xiaochen glanced at it and suddenly widened his eyes. He was a little surprised. This girl was actually a rare beauty? Of course, he didn't know if it was because of the photo, but in any case, not many people would believe the photo. With a pose and a facial expression, even an ugly girl could become a star. Below the photo was the girl's information. Su Chuxia, female, 19 years old, 169 meters tall, New Moon College 3rd year class 9 student, campus belle, hobbies, watching movies, playing video games, eating snacks, shopping, fitness center. Her hobbies were wide. Xiaochen had a headache. "You're already so dangerous, can't you just stay at home obediently?" Compared to her, the young mistress was an obedient little girl. Other than her hobbies, there were also introductions from her friends. Fortunately, Su Chuxia didn't have many friends, and her social connections weren't complicated. This made Xiaochen feel a little better. If she went out with random friends all day, it would be a headache for Xiaochen. There were a lot of miscellaneous things, and there were a total of 3 pages. In the back, there were some photos of Su Chuxia's life, which made Xiaochen feel very good. If the previous photos were photoshopped, many of the later ones were randomly taken. Moreover, they were probably taken without Su Chuxia knowing. Therefore, after looking at the photos, Xiaofan had to admit that Su Chuxia was very beautiful. Her big eyes were very lively. However, although this girl had a wide range of hobbies, from her circle of friends, it could be seen that she wasn't a girl who liked to interact with people. Although she was beautiful, her face was written with an expression that said no one should get close to her. This was something that gave Xiaofan a headache. This Su Chuxia was probably a girl who was difficult to approach. It would be difficult to get close to her to protect her, which would make it a lot more difficult. Chapter 525. The most troublesome thing was that Xiaofan couldn't reveal his identity. He could only think of a way to get close to Su Chuxia and protect her. However, he couldn't do it too abruptly. Since Su Chuxia's personality was like this, if he suddenly appeared beside her, it would definitely arouse the suspicion of other forces. When that happened, things would be messed up like before. This wasn't something that Xiaofan wanted to see. However, since he had already accepted the mission, Xiaofan could only accept it. It would be more troublesome for him to deal with the people there, and he might even be exposed. Xiaofan, why are you frowning? I heard that the person you're protecting is a beauty, a campus belle. You should be happy. Song Huawu looked at Xiaofan and asked with a smile. Sigh, I have a lot of beauties around me. I don't lack beauties. This mission isn't easy. Xiaofan smiled bitterly. If it wasn't for the fact that I have no other choice, I wouldn't do it. By the way, I've applied for a mask for you. You can wear it, or you can transform it yourself. Song Huawu said. This mask is a professional human skin mask. Ordinary people won't be able to see through it, but it'll be more uncomfortable to wear it. I'll just wear the mask. Xiaofan didn't want to waste his energy every day. Moreover, it would be very troublesome when Xia Jinglin asked for the video. It would be much easier to explain if he wore the mask. Alright, I'll get it for you when we get to Lan City. Song Huawu said. When we get there, we won't be able to see each other every day. Xia Shibin and I have to eat and live in the research base, and you can only rent a room near the protected girl, in case something unexpected happens. Alright, I understand. Xiaofan nodded. This job wasn't easy. Being a bodyguard was much more difficult than being a servant. Moreover, he couldn't expose his identity. It would be best if he didn't let Su Chuxia know, because if she knew, it would be very likely that he would be exposed. The car drove into Lan City and drove all the way to the suburbs. Xiaofan thought that this was probably the location of the research base. Sure enough, there were no other cars along the way. Occasionally, a few cars would pass by, all with special license plates. There were even some heavily armored vehicles. It seemed that this was the scope of the research base. The two cars had changed to the Supernatural Investigation Bureau's license plates, so no one would be surprised if they drove here. Finally, they arrived at the gate of a watchtower. Two men in black suits with headphones on and bulging waists walked over. It turned out that they were here to check their documents. Xiaofan and the others took out their IDs one by one. Xiaofan's ID was reapplied with his cell phone. He randomly found a 1-inch photo of Yang Tan and reapplied for a new ID. The previous one was lost with his cell phone. After the inspection was completed, the car was allowed to enter the research base. Of course, even they could not really enter the interior of the research base. They all lived in the periphery. Song Huawu had obviously done her research beforehand. She brought them to a building that looked like a terrace house, parked the car, and got out. Along the way, they still went through a lot of interrogation. However, it was obvious that the people who were interrogated were very polite to them after seeing their IDs. After entering, they came to the door of an office. Song Huawu knocked on the door, and a "come in" voice came from inside. Song Huawu and the others entered the office. So it's Team Leader Yang and Deputy Team Leader Song. Welcome. A capable-looking man was in the office. Team Leader Yang, this is the leader of the security team of our Supernatural Investigation Bureau at the research base, Zhang Chenkue. Song Huawu said with a smile. Zhang Chenkue was slightly stunned. He knew Yang Jiannan. Although the two of them were not familiar, they had met in the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. However, thinking about it, this was considered a formal meeting. It was normal for Song Huawu to introduce him. Hello, Captain Zhang. Xiaofan shook hands with him and said, due to the mission, I won't say much. Huawu, prepare for me. I will report to New Moon Academy in Lan City. You and Hibin will stay here and assist Captain Zhang in taking care of the security here. I dare not say assist. It should be help. Both of you are masters of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. It's great that you can help us. Zhang Chenkue was not talking nonsense. These people were generally masters of the inner energy level 5. After all, they were just ordinary field agents of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau and not core members. They thought that it was more than enough to protect the research base. However, they did not expect that a small research base would cause so many disputes. He did not know how the news got out. In short, Zhang Chenkue was under a lot of pressure. Now, his savior had arrived. Okay. Song Huawu nodded and said to Zhang Chenkue, Captain Zhang, the car I asked you to prepare and the communication with New Moon Academy have been settled, right? Also, the human skin mask that was mailed from the headquarters should have arrived, right? Yes, Deputy Team Leader Song, it's all done. Zhang Chenkue quickly said, I didn't dare to make the car too ostentatious. It's just an ordinary Jetta, but it has been modified. It only has the appearance of a Jetta, but the inside is completely different. As for Team Leader Yang's admission procedures, they are all here with me. It's already been arranged. Team Leader Yang can go to New Moon Academy and look for Head Chiu directly. He knows that you were arranged to enter through the higher-ups, but he doesn't know your identity. Because one more person knowing means one more danger. He thinks that you just have some other background. That's for the best. Xiaofan nodded. His purpose of going to New Moon Academy was to protect Su Chuxia. Therefore, he would naturally try to keep a low profile. It would be best if no one paid attention to him. As for the mask, it's here. I don't have the authority to open it. Team Leader Yang should open it himself. As he said that, Zhang Chenkue took out a package from the cabinet on his desk. There was a special seal from the Supernatural Investigation Bureau on it. Xiaofan nodded. He opened the package and took out the mask inside. He could not help but be slightly surprised. This mask was actually somewhat similar to the Xiao Chang that he had transformed into. If one didn't look carefully or wasn't familiar with it, they would really think that Xiao Chang was this mask. Seeing Xiaofan holding the mask and examining it, Song Huawu could roughly guess his surprised thoughts, so she said, Team Leader Yang, I chose this mask for you. I feel that it matches your style. And, not bad. Xiaofan nodded and directly put the mask on his head. At this moment, his appearance was similar to the previous Xiao Chang. He felt that the mask was well made. Xiaofan didn't feel that there was anything wrong with it, so he nodded and said, if that's the case, I'll leave first. It's better to report to the academy as soon as possible. Okay, Team Leader Yang. Zhang Chenkue said, then I won't send you off. Otherwise, it will be too eye-catching. This is the car key. The car is parked at the door. The license plate is AS909. The car number is not the number of our Supernatural Investigation Bureau. It is a civilian number. However, the only advantage is that the car's license plate is actually confidential. It is on file with the police station. If you exceed the speed limit or violate the rules, no one will stop you. It is also convenient when you carry out your mission. And, not bad. Xiaochen nodded to Song Huawu and Xia Shibin and left Zhang Chenkui's office. He didn't want to have too much contact with Zhang Chenkui. If he spoke too much, he would slip up. He wasn't Yang Tan at all. He didn't know much about the internal affairs of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. It wouldn't be good if he slipped up. Xiaochen walked out of the office and went all the way to the parking lot outside. He pressed the remote control in his hand. Not far away, a Jetta turned on its lights. Xiaochen walked over. The Jetta was silver gray. It was very common. From the appearance, it didn't look special at all. Xiaochen was very satisfied. He often drove sports cars in Songning City. He didn't care about these things at all. After adjusting the navigation map, Xiaochen came to Lon City's New Moon College. This was a relatively large college in Lon City. It integrated junior high, senior high, and university into one. It was one of the best schools in the area. Xiaochen was now going to the New Moon College's affiliated high school. When he arrived at the location, Xiaochen parked the car in the school's parking lot. There were some rich people in the school. There were some luxury cars in the parking lot. Of course, it could also be the teachers' cars. Xiaochen got off the car and entered the school. When he entered the teaching building, he was stopped by the security guard. "What are you doing? Why are you here at this time? Show me your student ID." Xiaochen was dressed like a student at the moment. Because he didn't wear the school uniform, he was stopped by the security guard. The students here were either wearing the school uniform or a badge, but Xiaochen didn't have either. "Hello, I'm here to report. I'm a transfer student." Xiaochen showed the admission file in his hand to the security guard. "I'm here to look for Director Chiu to handle the admission procedures." "Oh, your first day here." The security guard glanced at Xiaochen's student file and nodded. "Director Chiu is on the 4th floor, office 410. You can go up." "Okay, thank you." Xiaochen nodded and quickly went upstairs. Standing at the door of office 410, Xiaochen knocked on the door. An old voice came from inside, "Please come in." Xiaochen pushed the door open and entered. The first thing he saw was a bald man who looked like a pedant. Xiaochen secretly frowned. This kind of person should be more inflexible. He was not like Director Su, who was easier to talk to. "Hello, Director Chiu. I'm a transfer student. I'm here to look for you to handle the admission procedures." Xiaochen said. "Oh, show me the procedures," Director Chiu said without lifting his eyelids. He continued his work as if he didn't care about Xiaochen at all. Xiaochen smiled and didn't care. He quickly walked over and put the admission procedures on Director Chiu's desk. Then, he stood aside respectfully. Chapter 526. Director Chiu put down the pen in his hand and picked up Xiaochen's information to have a look. He couldn't help but frown. "You're about to graduate from grade 12. I don't know why you transferred here at this time. I really don't understand you young masters. You were specially approved by the principal, so your family must have some power. But here, you better be obedient and study hard. Otherwise, I'll teach you a lesson. If your results drag me down, I'll suggest to the principal to send you away directly." Xiaochen was speechless. This Director Chiu was too powerful. He even dared to refute the principal. However, Xiaochen didn't care. He was a straight-A student. At most, he would put in more effort during the exam and get a good result. This Director Chiu would probably have nothing to say. "Okay, Director Chiu. Actually, I transferred here because someone in my family transferred. In fact, I study very hard. When I was in Songning No. 2 high school, my results were also among the best. Xiao Chen wasn't bragging. He was referring to Xiao Chen's identity, not Yang Tan. Well, that's good. Just in time, there's a monthly exam in 2 days. I want to see your performance. Director Chiu listened to Xiao Chen's words and nodded with satisfaction. It could be seen that he was the kind of old pedant who especially liked students with good results. Everything depended on results. However, this way, Xiao Chen had some confidence. Although this Director Chiu didn't seem to be easy to talk to, there shouldn't be a problem if he catered to his preferences. Director Chiu signed on Xiao Chen's paperwork and then said to him, "Okay, go to grade 12 class 9 to report." "Okay, thank you, Director Chiu." Xiao Chen took the signed paperwork and left the office. He didn't know where grade 12 class 9 was, but he didn't ask much. It was better to find it himself. At this time, the bell rang. Xiao Chen planned to walk around the teaching building to familiarize himself. There were many students, so he didn't stand out. There were no classes on the 4th floor. Basically, it was all teachers' offices. There was only the so-called grade 4 preparatory class. The grade 4 preparatory class was actually a class for students whose grades were not good enough to enter university. One more year of study, and those whose results caught up, could directly enter New Moon Academy. In fact, it was equivalent to studying for one more year. Going down, the 3rd floor was for year 3 students, the 2nd floor was for year 2 students, and the 1st floor was for year 1 students. It was very orderly. Xiao Chen returned to the 3rd floor and saw a girl not far away. His eyes lit up. It was Su Chuxia. At this moment, she was wearing a beige windbreaker with both hands in her pockets and a yellow headband on her head. She looked pure and cute, but her big eyes were cold and unapproachable, which didn't match her image. Beside her, there was a girl who was dressed very fashionably, or rather, sexy. She was wearing a short skirt, black stockings, and a tight vest. She looked like a hot girl on the street. Xiao Chen knew that this girl's name was Tian Soran. It was a very cool name, and she was Su Chuxia's best friend. Xiao Chen remembered her at a glance. Tian's sour skin color was not as fair as Su Chuxia's. Instead, it was a darker shade of wheat. Girls with this skin color were rare. Some celebrities liked to dye their skin color like this because it looked sexy and had a wild beauty to it. If he didn't know that Tian Soran was a girl with no problems, Xiao Chen would have thought that she was a delinquent at first glance. However, these two beauties were clearly in trouble. Tian Soran, mind your own business. I'm pursuing Chuxia. What does that have to do with you? A boy was holding a bouquet of flowers and stood in front of Su Chuxia, blocking her way and not letting her go. What's going on? Xiao Chen was stunned. F***ck, could this man be an enemy in disguise? His main goal now was to protect Su Chuxia. As long as nothing happened to her, he would be able to think of a way to cancel the arrest warrant. Therefore, he couldn't ignore any danger that Su Chuxia was in. Of course, if it was an ordinary student, Xiao Chen wouldn't be too concerned. The main thing was that this boy had a faint martial aura, which shocked Xiao Chen. If a martial artist didn't deliberately suppress or hide it, they would unconsciously release a martial artist's aura. Although their strength couldn't be seen, it could be felt. Thinking of this, Xiao Chen rushed to the boy's side and directly dragged him to a corner. He scolded, F***ck, Xiao Bai, I finally found you. You're the B***starred who knocked me last time, right? Who are you? Kai Wuliang was stunned. He staggered from Xiao Chen's pull, and the flowers in his hand fell to the ground. He was instantly furious. Let go of me if you don't want to die. F***ck, you dare to threaten me? Xiao Chen directly slapped him, making a crisp "pa" sound. Last time at the school gate, you F***king bumped into me and ran away. Don't you remember? F*ck, how would I remember? If you don't let go of me, I won't go easy on you. Kai Wuliang was furious. As a school bully, he had bumped into many people at the school gate. How would he know which one you were? However, with a beauty in front of him, it wasn't appropriate for him to make a move. He heard that Su Chuxia hated boys who fought. Although it wasn't confirmed by Su Chuxia, Tian Shaoring said it, so it must be credible. Su Chuxia frowned in confusion. She had never seen Xiao Chen before, so she didn't know who he was. Why did he suddenly come to cause trouble for Kai Wuliang? Moreover, there was no one in the school who dared to cause trouble for Kai Wuliang. However, since someone interrupted her, she was naturally happy to be able to get rid of Kai Wuliang's pestering. Hence, she quickly left with Tian Wangsu. Xiao Chen let go of Kai Wuliang when he saw that Su Chuxia had already left. Intuitively, he felt that although Kai Wuliang was a martial artist, he shouldn't be from any hostile forces. Therefore, he didn't bother with him anymore. He just casually said, "If you don't remember, then forget it." After that, Xiao Chen let go of him and left. "Wait a minute, are you trying to act cool with us? If I don't kill you today, I'm not Kai Wuliang." After Su Chuxia left, Kai Wuliang didn't have to pretend to be polite anymore. His domineering nature was completely exposed. At this moment, the bell for class rang. Xiao Chen turned around and directly walked into grade 12 class 9's classroom. Kai Wuliang didn't expect Xiao Chen to turn around and leave. He couldn't help but be stunned. However, class had already started. He couldn't chase after him into the classroom and beat him up, right? New Moon Academy was different from other schools. Although it was a school tyrant, it was only within a limited range. Take Headmaster Chiu for example. If he caught you causing trouble in class, regardless of your background, he would immediately scold you, give you a warning, and expel you 3 times. Being merciless, this was also why New Moon Academy was so outstanding. This was because New Moon Academy had a very powerful background. Their shareholders were also very powerful. They didn't have to act according to other people's wishes. Humph. Kai Wuliang snorted coldly and turned around to leave. He was a 4th-year preparatory student. He had transferred from another school and was preparing to directly enter New Moon Academy in the 4th year of high school. As soon as he arrived, his target was Su Chuxia. When Xiao Chen walked into the classroom, the students in the classroom were very surprised because they had never seen Xiao Chen before. When they saw him walk in, they were all guessing what he was doing. Because Xiao Chen didn't have a seat, he could only stand at the side of the podium and wait for the teacher to come. "Chuxia, look, isn't that the guy who was looking for trouble with Kai Wuliang just now? Why is he standing at the door of our class?" Tian Shaoring's eyes were sharp, and he immediately recognized Xiao Chen. "Oh." Su Chuxia glanced at Xiao Chen, and there was no special expression on her face. She only nodded lightly. Do you think he likes you and purposely helped you just now to be your escort?" Tian Shaoring's eyes rolled as he said. "I don't know, but what does that have to do with me?" Su Chuxia clearly had no interest in Xiao Chen. She didn't even look at him again. "Ha ha ha, this is going to be fun. There's a new pursuer. However, this guy doesn't look special. He's just a small guy. I think he'll be dealt with by Kai Wuliang soon," Tian Shaoring said. At this point, Su Chuxia raised her head and looked at Xiao Chen. Then she said to Tian Shaoring, "Shaoring, then tell him to stop pursuing me. Otherwise, he'll be sent to the hospital. Don't do this kind of stupid thing." "Huh, okay." Tian Shaoring nodded. She had a good heart, so she felt the need to remind Xiao Chen. Previously, Su Chuxia had many pursuers, but now, they either hid it and didn't dare to express it, or they were all sent to the hospital. Of course, this was all thanks to Kai Wuliang. When Kai Wuliang came, he got rid of those pursuers. After a while, the homeroom teacher of grade 12 class 9, Teacher Chen, walked into the classroom. Obviously, she had already received the notice from Teacher Chiu that there was a transfer student. Student Xiao Chang, right? Teacher Chen looked at Xiao Chen and asked, Teacher Chiu said there's a transfer student. I guess it's you. Yes, Teacher Chen. I'm Xiao Chang. This is my admission information. Please take a look. Xiao Chen handed the information in his hand to Teacher Chen and said. Teacher Chen looked at the information and then said to Xiao Chen, you can sit in the last row first. The seats in the class are chosen according to your test results. Tomorrow is the monthly test. If your results are good, you can choose the seat you like according to your ranking. Next, introduce yourself, and then we'll start the class. Oh, okay. Xiao Chen didn't care about the seats. He nodded and went up to the podium. He said to the students below, hello everyone, my name is Xiao Chang. I used to study in Songning City. Today, I'm transferring to Lan City. I hope everyone can take care of me. Xiao Chen's introduction was very short. He didn't act like Yang Tan at all. His only purpose in coming to school was to protect the school bell, Su Chuxia. As for other matters, they didn't have much to do with him. Chapter 527. With that, he walked to the last row and sat down. Although he was a little far from Su Chuxia, he could still see her. Xiao Chang's appearance was not very outstanding. He was a little ordinary, and his self-introduction was very simple. Therefore, most people treated him like air and did not pay attention to him. They went about their own business. It was time for class. This was Teacher Chen's language class. Xiao Chen was a straight-A student, so he already knew these things by heart. He did not need to pay much attention, so his attention was on Su Chuxia. Su Chuxia did not feel anything, but Tian Souring, who was beside her, was a sensitive girl. She felt that someone was staring in their direction, so she turned around and met Xiao Chen's gaze. She immediately glared at Xiao Chen. Then, she turned around and said to Su Chuxia, Chuxia, that Xiao Chang is peeking at you from behind. Oh, how do you know he's not looking at you? Su Chuxia asked nonchalantly. Guys are like this. In their eyes, a delinquent girl like me is the feisty type. Only those hooligans and ruffians would like me. An innocent beauty like you is the killer of these otakus. Tian Souring said. Who told you to dress like this? Su Chuxia said. I'm mixed blood. My skin color is like this. It's not good to dress up like a lady. Tian Souring said, don't talk about me. I think this guy is really infatuated. He actually transferred thousands of miles here just to see you. Is it as scary as you say? Songning City is very far away, right? How could it be for me? Su Chuxia shook her head. Why not? Just now, he was saving the damsel in distress at the class gate. Kai Wuliang was pestering you, so he stood up for you and said that Kai Wuliang bumped into him at the school gate. How is that possible? He transferred here from another city, and it was his first day at school. When he came, the class was probably not over yet. Where did Kai Wuliang bump into him? Tian Souring analyzed. Is that so? Su Chuxia pouted slightly. It seemed to make sense. Does this Xiao Chang like me? But, Kai Wuliang was probably going to send him to the hospital. Then, after class, go and remind him that it's impossible between him and I. Don't let him think about these unrealistic things and get taught a lesson by Kai Wuliang again. Okay, I love doing this. Unlike Su Chuxia, who had a cold personality, Tian Souring was a bold girl who loved excitement. After one class, Xiao Chen was bored to death as he took out his mobile phone. He planned to tell Song Huawu and the others that he had successfully enrolled in school. Unexpectedly, a fragrant wind assaulted his nostrils, and a small waist appeared in front of him. Xiaochun looked up and saw that it was Tian Suruan. This girl actually sat on his table. Looking at the short skirt and black stockings in front of him, Xiaochun swallowed his saliva. How could this girl be so bold? How dare you sit on the table dressed like this? Aren't you afraid of being exposed? Hey, Xiaochang, right? Tian Suruan looked down at Xiaochun from above. She saw that he was holding a phone that she did not recognize. It was obvious that it was a counterfeit phone. She could not help but shake her head and said, "You like Su Chuxia, right?" Huh? Xiaochun was slightly stunned. He was a little curious as to how Tian Suruan came to such a conclusion. Stop pretending. Tian Suruan said, "Sister Suruan, I know a little otaku like you too well. One look from you, and I can tell how many times you masturbated at night." Cough, cough, cough. Xiaochun thought that this Tian Suruan was really tough. He did not know how Su Chuxia became good friends with her. The two of them had completely different personalities. Alright, Sister Suruan is very busy. I came to you mainly to tell you something. That is, give up on Chuxia as soon as possible. Otherwise, you will die a very, very tragic death. Tian Suruan looked at Xiaochun with a horrified expression and said, "Do you remember? When you have time, you can look at Sister Suruan more and fantasize about masturbating. Sister Suruan doesn't mind, but please don't have any ideas about Chuxia." Xiaochun was a little speechless. He did not know what to say. He looked at Tian Suruan and said, "Remember, I won't have any ideas about her. Can I have any ideas about you?" In any case, Xiaochun thought that it would be good if he could get close to Su Chuxia. Since Su Chuxia was not easy to get close to, he could get close to Tian Suruan. It seemed that Tian Suruan was easy to talk to. Can you afford a big plane? Can you afford a big villa? Can you bring your sister Suruan to the gold-consuming commercial building to buy some goods? Tian Suruan looked at Xiaochun and said, "So, don't even think about it. Young man, just focus on masturbating. Stop daydreaming." Xiaochun looked at the valiant Tian Suruan and was speechless. He thought to himself, "I won't bring you there even if I can afford it. You're too arrogant. Sister Suruan, let's go. I'll show you my back." Tian Suruan jumped down from the table and went back. But looking at her from the back, Tian Suruan's figure was really good. But Xiaochun didn't think of hitting her. What Xiaochun was thinking was that Tian Suruan looked like she was easy to get along with on the surface, but in reality, she was the kind of girl who kept people at arm's length. A few words from her would be enough to kill off any pursuers. If not for the fact that Xiaochun had everything, he would probably be devastated. He would go home and cry for a while before turning on his computer and masturbating. "Suruan, did you talk to him?" Su Chuxia asked when she saw that Tian Suruan had returned. "Yes, I did," Tian Suruan said. "Then he agreed?" Su Chuxia asked. "Yes, he agreed. I told him to go home and masturbate by himself." Otakus are all like this. They have the heart but no guts, Tian Suruan said. Oh. Su Chuxia blushed slightly and did not say anything else. After the third period, it was the exercise break. The students all walked out of the classroom to do the exercises. Xiaochun did not know how to do the exercises. The exercises in New Moon Academy were different from those in Songning. He followed the crowd outside and planned to put on an act. He did not expect to be stopped by someone when he reached the classroom door. It was Kai Wuliang, whom he saw in the morning. At this moment, there were two thugs behind him who were dressed like ruffians. They were staring at Xiaochun like a tiger watching its prey. "Brat, wait up. Don't go." Kai Wuliang had a toothpick in his mouth and looked at Xiao Chen with a cocky expression. Xiao Chen was a little speechless. Why did he come looking for trouble? Why did a school bully come looking for trouble when he went to a school? He could not even keep a low profile and be a quiet pretty boy. He was really speechless. What's the matter? Xiao Chen asked. F***ck, you're still asking me if I'm fine? You ruined my good time this morning, and you're still asking me? Kai Wuliang's face darkened. He glared at Xiao Chen and said to his two thugs, hold him up and take him to the rooftop. I'll let this country bumpkin know who has the final say in this school. Kai Wuliang also had an insider in grade 12 class 9. He found out that Xiao Chong was a new transfer after asking around. Kai Wuliang did not care about this kind of student at all. These silly losers thought that they could turn the tables on the goddess just because they were in the same class as Su Chuxia. Kai Wuliang wanted to let them know that the goddess did not belong to losers. At this moment, Su Chuxia and Tian Suruan happened to walk out of the classroom. When they saw Kai Wuliang's two thugs going to hold Xiao Chong, Tian Suruan immediately rushed over. He gave Xiao Chen a look and said, Kai Wuliang, what's the meaning of this? Are you bullying our classmate? Tian Suruan, this has nothing to do with you. This is a personal grudge between us. Kai Wuliang saw that Tian Suruan was here again and felt depressed. F***ck, if not for the fact that I don't want to leave a bad impression on Su Chuxia, I would have found a place with no one around in F***cku. Look at your slutty face, you're definitely not a good person. I don't know what Su Chuxia is thinking, to actually be best friends with you. Kai Wuliang knew that Su Chuxia had a background. Previously, when Xiao Meng from the Supernatural Investigation Bureau was exposed, it was thanks to Kai Wuliang. Kai Wuliang wanted to direct and act out a hero saving the damsel in distress. Xiao Meng thought that there was an accident, so he rushed out and beat him up. Then, Kai Wuliang realized that Su Chuxia actually had bodyguards protecting her in secret. He knew that he could not use force on this girl. Kai Wuliang, Xiao Chong has already said that he will not pursue Su Chuxia. When he gets home tonight, he will fantasize about Sister Suruan masturbating, so he won't get in your way. After Tian Suruan finished speaking, he patted Xiao Chen and said, right? Ah. Right. Xiao Chen didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Although he wasn't afraid of this Kai Wuliang, since Tian Suruan helped him out of trouble, there was no need for him to fight to the death with Kai Wuliang. Alright, since you admit defeat, then apologize to me. I'll forget about what happened this morning. Kai Wuliang saw that Tian Suruan had already said so, so he didn't say anything else. Forget about the apology. I don't have the habit of apologizing to people. Xiao Chen said indifferently, since the matter has been settled, I'll go to the exercise break. After he finished speaking, Xiao Chen turned around and left, ignoring Kai Wuliang. Su Chuxia frowned and felt a little unhappy. She felt that Xiao Chong was too good at pretending. Tian Suruan had already helped him out of trouble, and he just needed to apologize and everything would be fine. In this case, all that was said before would be for nothing. Kai Wuliang would definitely teach him a lesson. Not bad, kid. You sure run fast. This is a school building. I'll let you off for now. If you have the guts, don't leave the classroom at noon. Kai Wuliang said fiercely as he watched Xiao Chen run away. Then, he turned his head and looked at Su Chuxia. Chuxia, let's go to the exercise break together. I'll go by myself. I thought you guys don't go to the exercise break in the 4th year of high school. Su Chuxia said coldly and pulled Tian Suruan away. A look of desire flashed across Kai Wuliang's face. You will be mine sooner or later. Su Chuxia took 2 steps and said to Tian Suruan, didn't you tell Xiao Chong? Why is he like this? Who knows? Heroes have a weakness for the charms of a beautiful woman. Maybe he was confused when he saw you. Then, he started to pretend again in the heat of the moment. Tian Suruan said, "How troublesome. Sister Suruan, I've already done my best. If he gets beaten up again, I can only help him call an ambulance." Chapter 528. That's not very good. After all, it started because of me. Although Su Chuxia felt that Xiaochun was very good at pretending, she was a little worried when she thought that it might be because of her in the end, so she said, "Why don't you go and take a look at noon?" "Alright, Sister Sour, I'm a little hero who puts out the fire." Tian Sour said weakly, "I originally wanted to go out and eat delicious food at noon. I heard that an open-fire barbecue shop opened near the school. It looks good, don't look at me. I don't have money." Su Chuxia said. He, Chuxia, I heard that you just received your pocket money this month." Tian Sour looked like she was drooling. "No, I want to buy review materials, watch movies, and play video games. It's not enough. Every time you go to eat barbecue, you eat hundreds. If you want to eat, I'll take you to the 38th place barbecue buffet next time." Su Chuxia said vigilantly. "The buffet is not delicious. What can I eat at 38? It's all chicken and duck meat. I'll get sick of it if I eat too much." Tian Sour said discontentedly. "Then you can spend your own money." Su Chuxia said. "Sigh, it's not like you don't know Sister Sour's current situation. I'm down and out." Tian Sour looked miserable. "Back then, Sister Sour drove a Ferrari. You were rich and willful." Su Chuxia rolled her eyes at Tian Sour. "Whose sister are you? You're a few months younger than me." I'm used to it." Tian Sour smiled and said, "I heard that the open-fire barbecue is really delicious. The advertisement outside looks tempting. There's the best snowflake meat. The best doesn't eat anything." Su Chuxia knew that the plate of the best snowflake meat was usually 98 or 180. Tian Sour, this little girl, could eat 4 or 5 plates by herself. If she went with her, she would go bankrupt directly. "Alright." Tian Sour could only give up. "Sigh, tell me, how good would it be if you agreed to Kai Wuliang? That silly rich guy's family has money. I can eat and drink every day. I can ask him to give you a Ferrari and drive it for me every day, then you agree to it." Su Chuxia interrupted Tian Sour. "Is there a best friend like you? Exchanging me for money? I'm just joking. That Xiao Chong today seemed to be quite honest, but he didn't seem to have much money, so I couldn't bear to cheat him." Tian Swan said sourly, "Otherwise, I'll ask him to treat me to a meal and secretly tell him some information about you. When the time comes, I'll just spout some nonsense. When he treats you to dinner and Kai Wuliang sees it, he'll beat him to death. Don't cheat him." Su Chuxia shook her head. Xiaochun walked to the back of the line of grade 12 class 9 students. The people in front of him probably had a fixed position every day, so he did not want to stand around randomly. Just as he stood still, Xiaochun saw a ball rolling towards him. Of course, it was a meatball. Why did he call it a meatball? Because this person was really too fat. Running from afar, he looked like a ball. Xiaochun was shocked and quickly dodged to the side. He was afraid that this fatty would not be able to stop in time and crash into him again. However, what surprised Xiaochun was that although this guy was fat, he was very agile. In front of Xiaochun, he stopped with a creak. He looked at Xiaochun and chuckled, "Brother, you're new, right?" Yes." Xiaochun nodded and was a little puzzled. "Didn't I introduce myself before?" "Oh, I went to the toilet. I didn't go to class. I just finished." The fatty scratched his head and said, "What's your name? What are you doing here?" Why did you transfer to class 9? Are you here to chase after Su Chuxia? Pfft. Xiao Chen was stunned by the fatty's words. Why? Are all the people who transfer here to chase after Su Chuxia? Almost. More or less. If they wanted to take the exam, they wouldn't have come to class 9. Class 9 is considered an average class. When they first entered the school, they were randomly assigned. There was nothing they could do about it. But after they transferred over, they had the right to choose their class. Most of the students who wanted to take the exam would go to class 5 or 7. Those two are recognized as good classes. The fatty shrugged and almost lost his head. So, you are most likely here to chase after Su Chuxia. Okay. Xiao Chen did not deny it. Thinking that his mission was to get close to and protect Su Chuxia, he simply admitted it. Yes, you are right. Then, do I have a chance? No. The fatty shook his head directly and dealt a blow to Xiao Chen. Why? Xiao Chen asked with a smile. Because Su Chuxia didn't want to have a boyfriend in high school, said the fatty. Xiao Chen was a little speechless. What kind of reason is this? How do you know? Hey, you don't know, right? I'm Su Chuxia's brother. The fatty looked at Xiao Chen proudly and said. What? You are her brother? Xiao Chen looked at the fatty in shock. Why didn't the information say this? Logically speaking, Su Chuxia has a brother in the same class. Shouldn't the information mention it? Hee hee. How is it? Do you want to please me? The fatty nodded. When he smiled, his eyes were gone and he looked more like a ball. Ugh. May I ask what is this brother's name? Xiao Chen probed. This person's information is not in the information, but he said that he is Su Chuxia's brother. Is there a problem? My name is Li Yuanqiu, said the fatty. Sure enough, you live up to your name. Xiao Chen sighed. My name is Xiao Chang. Same here. I am a ball, and you are Xiao Chang. We are both the same. Li Yuanqiu said, but I am the Yuanqiu that means Yuanqiu. And, who would be called Yuanqiu? Xiao Chen smiled, but he thought in his heart, I have never heard of this person. Li Yuanqiu? Su Chuxia's brother? Cousin? As they were talking, Kai Wuliang came over with his 2 underlings. Although it was not good for him to make a move during the interval exercise, he could still scare Xiao Chen. Aya? Where is the interval exercise? Go, go. This is the last time. You won't be able to move tomorrow. Kai Wuliang bit the toothpick and looked at Xiao Chen with a playful face. Enjoy it. Tomorrow, you will feel that moving is a luxury. Kai Wuliang, what do you mean? Li Yuanqiu looked at Kai Wuliang and said, give me some face. This brother is now my friend. I have already told him that there is no hope between him and Su Chuxia. He also agreed. Why are you still looking for trouble with him? Li Yuanqiu, if you don't know what is going on, then shut up. Kai Wuliang pointed at Xiao Chen and said, this little guy was acting cool with us. I asked him to apologize to me, but he turned around and left. If I don't kill him, how can I, Kai Wuliang, survive in school? When the time comes, won't others think that my words are useless? Kai Wuliang, don't talk about that. Do you still want to pursue my sister? If you want to pursue her, then give me, your brother-in-law, some face. Li Yuanqiu said, my face is useless, so what? Fatty Li, you really don't have much of a reputation. Your sister? Ask Su Chuxia if she recognizes you as her brother. Didn't you grow up in the same courtyard as her? When she called you brother when she was young, do you really think that you are her brother? Don't be shameless. Kai Wuliang spat a mouthful of phlegm and said, let me tell you, Li Yuanqiu. I occasionally give you some face because you can help me provide some of Su Chuxia's hobbies. But if you want to follow others, you are still far from it. Li Yuanxiu's face was a little red. Obviously, Kai Wuliang didn't give him face and made him feel a little embarrassed. In school, he still had some power because of his identity as Su Chuxia's brother. He didn't expect Kai Wuliang to not give him face today. Forget it, Li Yuanxiu. I will see what he can do to me. He thinks that he is the Prince of Lollipop just because he has a toothpick in his mouth. Xiaochen waved his hand indifferently. This. Li Yuanxiu looked at Xiaochen strangely. Is this guy not afraid of being beaten up? Why is he so calm? However, since things had come to this point, Li Yuanxiu also knew that his words were useless. He could only say, Kai Wuliang, then just teach him a lesson. Hit him lightly. Okay, I promise not to beat him to death. Kai Wuliang laughed, turned around, and left. After Kai Wuliang left, Li Yuanxiu said with some depression, I say, brother, are you stupid? Do you know who this Kai Wuliang is? Who? Xiaochen said strangely, isn't he just a school bully? He is a school bully, but his family is very powerful in Lan City. It is an aristocratic family in Lan City. Do you know about aristocratic families? Said Li Yuanxiu. I have heard of them. Xiaochen nodded. He didn't expect Kai Wuliang to have some power. However, Xiaochen didn't put an aristocratic family in his eyes. Even if it was the Zhenwu aristocratic family, Xiaochen didn't care. Then do you know that Kai Wuliang has been practicing martial arts since he was young? His skills are very good. Li Yuanxiu said, brother, look at you. You should have learned a few moves, right? But compared to those who have been practicing martial arts since they were young, we can't do it. You listen to me. When the time comes, it won't be embarrassing to apologize to him. It's better than being put in the hospital. Thank you for your kindness, but I don't think he can beat me to death. Xiaochen smiled. Why don't you listen to me? Li Yuanxiu shook his head helplessly. It seems that I have one less friend. What about your previous friend? Asked Xiaochen strangely. Just like you, he was sent to the hospital. He hasn't come out yet. He has been lying in bed for half a year. Li Yuanxiu said, I think you and I hit it off quite well. I didn't expect you to be a bad *SS. Xiaochen felt that this Li Yuanxiu was a good person. It was just that he was a little worried. After finishing the exercises and returning to the classroom, Xiaochen found out that Li Yuanxiu was sitting next to him. Their desks were separated by an aisle. This class was physics. Xiaochen also knew it. He casually read a book, reviewed it, and mixed in with the class. After class, Tian Suanan came again. Xiaochang, I heard that you just provoked Kai Wuliang again. Tian Suanan sat on Xiaochen's desk and looked at Xiaochen condescendingly. In front of Xiaochen's eyes were two beautiful legs, swaying back and forth. Chapter 529. Xiaochen glanced at Li Yuanxiu. Seeing that he was holding his phone, Xiaochen guessed that Li Yuanxiu was probably texting Tian Suruan. No, he wanted to have a duel with me at noon, a duel at the top of the school, Xiaochen said. I saw that he was quite sincere. He looked for me a few times, so I reluctantly agreed. Pfft, Xiaochang, will you die if you don't show off? Your sister Suruan won't fall for this. There's no use in bragging. Tian Suruan said, Li Yuanxiu is right. If you don't want to be beaten to death, you should talk to Kai Wuliang. The two of us will help you. Thank you, but I've already agreed. I can't go back on my word. Why don't you talk to Kai Wuliang and ask him to admit defeat? Xiaochen said with a smile. You. Tian Suruan was so angry that she wanted to kick Xiaochen's crotch. She glared at him and said, Oh right, what does your family do? Do you have some background? I do some small business. Xiaochen said, What's wrong? Nothing. Why don't you treat me to barbecue at noon? I'll give you a chance, but it'll cost a few hundred. Do you have money? Tian Suruan said after thinking for a while. Sure, I'll treat you after I beat Kai Wuliang. Xiaochen felt that Tian Suruan was a good person. He was quite helpful, and he also wanted to get close to Su Chuxia. Tian Suruan was speechless. Why was this person so stubborn? She jumped down from the table and went back. How is it? Su Chuxia asked. He won't listen to me. He's so stubborn. Tian Suruan sighed. Sister Suruan can only help him this much. Sigh. Su Chuxia sighed. She had no right to ask others not to like her. She could only try to reduce the damage. However, he didn't listen, so she couldn't do anything. To be honest, this Xiao Chang was so silly. Why didn't he listen to her? Go and keep an eye on him at noon. Don't let Kai Wuliang hit him too hard. My words don't carry much weight. Why don't you go as well? Tian Suruan said. Oh. Okay. Su Chuxia nodded. In the blink of an eye, it was lunchtime. Kai Wuliang was afraid that Xiaochen would run away, so he had been waiting at the entrance of the classroom. When he saw that Xiaochen was still there, he laughed. Xiao Chang, let's go to the rooftop. Oh, all right. Let's go. Let's finish this quickly. Then, I'll treat Tian Soran to a meal, said Xiaochen. Pfft. You still want to go eat? Let's go to the hospital to eat. Kai Wuliang burst into laughter the moment he heard that, and the two lackeys behind him also laughed wildly. Xiaochen ignored him and walked out of the classroom, heading upstairs. The rooftop of the school had to be accessed from the 4th floor. The entrance was in the restroom on the 4th floor. You could only go up when there was no one around. Otherwise, if you told the teacher that you were looking for trouble, you wouldn't be able to go up. Since there was no one around, Xiaochen went up first. Kai Wuliang followed behind him with his two lackeys. Tian Soran, Su Chuxia, and Li Yuanqiu also followed up. Tian Soran climbed up, but Su Chuxia was a lady and wasn't very good at climbing walls. After much difficulty, Li Yuanqiu, who was following behind, didn't dare to move after taking 2 steps. His size and weight were too big, Xiao Chang, right? How about it? Kneel down and kowtow to me twice, and I'll consider not sending you to the hospital. Kai Wuliang was still speaking when he suddenly discovered a big foot kicking over. He hadn't even finished speaking when he was sent flying into the air. Xiaochen couldn't be bothered to talk nonsense with him. This person seemed to be at least a stage 3 inner force martial artist. Although he couldn't tell if he was a martial cultivator or a demonic cultivator, he definitely wouldn't fall to his death from the height of the 4th floor. Xiaochen didn't wait for him to finish talking and kicked him down. Thud. A loud sound came from downstairs. Kai Wuliang landed directly on the ground, smashing a small hole in the field. He couldn't get up for a long time. Although Kai Wuliang had already used his inner force to protect his body, this was the 4th floor. Who could recover from such a sudden fall? He was in a daze from the fall, and his head was a little muddled. Kai Wuliang's 2 lackeys were a little dumbfounded. They couldn't care less about Xiaochen anymore. They hurriedly ran down from the rooftop to check on their boss. In the end, Li Yuanqiu, who had just climbed halfway, was kicked down again. F***ck. Li Yuanqiu was so angry that he cursed. You 2 bastards, are you crazy? Kai Wuliang doesn't want to chase after Su Chuxia anymore, right? Usually, these 2 lackeys were quite respectful to Li Yuanqiu. After all, Kai Wuliang would occasionally look for Li Yuanqiu to ask about Su Chuxia. However, they couldn't be bothered to talk nonsense with him now. The two of them quickly ran down. Su Chuxia originally wanted to mediate, but she looked at Xiao Chen in disbelief. You kicked him down? Yes. Xiao Chen nodded. You're in trouble. Su Chuxia was a little annoyed. If anything happened to him, you wouldn't be able to stay in Lan City anymore. Why are you so reckless? Tian Souring looked down and said, thank goodness he's not dead. It seems like Kai Wuliang is fine. But, you ambushed him once. What about the next time? I don't know what to say about you. There are really such daring idiots in this world. Let's go. I'll treat you guys to that barbecue, Xiao Chen said. Really? Tian Souring was stunned. He didn't expect Xiao Chen to really remember this. Really? Xiao Chen nodded. That's great. Let's go then. You're not bad. Sister Souring didn't worry about you for nothing. Don't worry, next time Kai Wuliang gives you trouble, I'll help you mediate. I promise he won't beat you to death. Tian Souring said happily. However, Su Chuxia frowned. She pulled Tian Souring and whispered, that's not a good idea, right? He doesn't have much money. He said his family runs a small business, so he should take advantage of it. Besides, he has a chance to treat the goddess to a meal. This is a once-in-a-thousand-years opportunity. He has to thank me. Tian Souring said. I'm not going. Su Chuxia shook her head. Don't. If you don't go, what will he treat me to? It's not like he's wooing me, Tian Souring said hurriedly, afraid that this matter would fall through. Then go. Su Chuxia said helplessly, I think that Xiao Chang looks like a good person. He's quite honest, just a little reckless. Don't take advantage of him. Yes, I got it. Tian Souring nodded. Although Su Chuxia and Tian Souring's voices were relatively soft, Xiao Chen could still hear them clearly. He couldn't help but find it a little funny. Why did it seem like he was the reckless one in the eyes of these two girls? However, Su Chuxia looked like a good girl. She wasn't unruly or willful. Other than her slightly cold personality, there wasn't anything bad about her. What made Xiao Chen most relieved was that Su Chuxia didn't seem to hate him. In that case, getting close to her wouldn't backfire. The difficulty of the mission had been greatly reduced. The few of them prepared to go down the rooftop. In the end, Li Yuanxiu finally climbed up. He squatted on the ground and panted. Although he ran fast, he wasn't good at climbing. It was too heavy, and the wall ladder was too difficult to climb. I'm exhausted. How's Xiao Chang? I saw those two guys running down. Did they beat someone to death? Did they run away? Li Yuanxiu said after panting for a long time. I scared them away. Let's go get something, Xiao Chen said. Ah, brother, are you okay? Li Yuanxiu looked at Xiao Chen in surprise. They didn't hit you? Did you show them your background and scared them away? No, I kicked that Kai Wuliang down. Xiao Chen pointed to the edge of the rooftop. What? You kicked him down? Li Yuanxiu ran to the edge of the rooftop and saw Kai Wuliang's two subordinates helping Kai Wuliang up and slowly walking forward. That's why Sister Souring said that he's reckless. Li Yuanxiu, don't play with him anymore. He's too reckless and will easily implicate you. Tian Souring said gloomily, who would do that? Luckily, Kai Wuliang practiced martial arts before, so he's fine. If it were a normal person, he would have fallen to his death. You would have become a murderer. You're too reckless, aren't you? Brother, you're awesome. That was a sneak attack, right? Li Yuanxiu sized up Xiao Chen. How did you know? Xiao Chen asked. That Kai Wuliang is an expert. He's from our school's mixed martial arts team. Last month, He represented our school in the competition and won first place in the high school group. Li Yuanxiu said, if you didn't sneak attack, the one who fell down would be you. Oh, then I'll continue to sneak attack next time. Xiao Chen smiled. AI, there's no solution now. This is the only way. Try your best to sneak attack. Li Yuanxiu shook his head. The two of you already have a deep hatred. I won't mediate anymore. If you get beaten up, I'll help you call an ambulance in time. You still dare to follow me? Aren't you afraid of implicating me? Xiao Chen asked curiously. He won't dare to really hit me. I, Li Yuanxiu, am not someone to be trifled with. My family is from a military compound, and I have a brother in the special forces. If he really dares to touch me, my brother will bring a few brothers back. If we really fight to the death, he will have to think twice. Li Yuanxiu said, but my power is still lacking. I can't protect you. Xiao Chen was slightly stunned. He didn't expect Li Yuanxiu to have some power. No wonder he dared to compete with Kai Wuliang. It seemed like it wasn't just because of his identity as Su Chuxia's brother. They were all from a military compound. It seemed like Li Yuanxiu's family also had people working in the research base, just like Su Chuxia. Hee, it's fine. I'm pretty good too. Xiao Chen said indifferently, let's go eat that barbecue. Tian Suruan was the happiest to eat barbecue. Su Chuxia didn't mind. It was true that she loved delicious food, but she didn't like these big meaty things. She preferred to eat delicate and small things. The four of them came down from the rooftop. Kai Wuliang was already gone. Tian Suruan brought Xiao Chen out of the school and came to a place called Giant Cauldron Open Flame Barbecue. At the entrance of the shop, there was a poster with all kinds of delicious pictures. There were seafood, beef, lamb chops, and so on. Tian Suruan was drooling when he saw it. Xiao Chang, do you have money? Tian Suruan couldn't help but ask for confirmation before entering. Yes. Xiao Chen looked at the price. It was okay. This was only a mid-range restaurant. It couldn't be compared to those big restaurants. You're tuning into the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.